step of the way in every single waking day. I've got you wrapped around my finger. The more you struggle, the more I linger. When you think you're through with me, you'll turn around and there I'll be. There's no escape. I'm here to stay. Inside of you, I will remain. You can't see me. You can't hear me. I know that you can feel.
Man, motherfuck. That was some bullshit. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I apologize for that, guys. That was some trash. YouTube was just, YouTube gave me the middle finger. Somebody must have reported me or something like that. I don't know what it was. One of the lurkers in the chat or something. I don't fucking know. But I guess I can't have any footage on here. So, you know what? Whatever. Fuck it. I don't care. We'll just leave the thumbnails up like that, and then it'll be fucking, I'll just talk over it. I apologize for the lack of exciting footage that that I'm not gonna be showing now because of all that shit, but really starting to fucking lose my patience with YouTube, man. I swear to tits. This is getting irritating. I don't know why the copyright shit has to be such a big deal. I wasn't fucking doing anything, as far as I'm concerned, that was against terms of service, but I guess YouTube thinks differently about that shit, so eat a dick, whatever. Anyways, it's okay. It's okay. We can come back from that, no worries. Alright, everything's fine. We were only on number 12. I'm glad that it got taken down now instead of it was like taken down on like number 3 or some shit like that. At least we got it taken down on number 12. I'm going to take the footage that I have from my other video, and I'm going to edit it together with this one, and I'm going to make just one long fucking video of me ranking everything, and I'm just going to upload that. So there won't be any interruptions, there won't, if I take a 5-minute break, there won't be any 5-minute break in there. I'll cut all that shit out. I'm going to actually make this into an actual proper video. So, yeah, I apologize for that shit, guys. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. We'll see what happens. But thanks for coming back and chilling out. They shouldn't fucking disconnect my stream again if I'm just showing thumbnails and stuff. Won't they still violate you for the footage? Yeah, I got a warning, actually. That was my first ever warning. I just got a warning. They fucking, like, there was an icon saying, like, dude blowing a whistle and shit. So, sometimes I wish I was more of a Twitch streamer than a YouTube streamer. Twitch is a lot more lenient with that kind of stuff. YouTube just fucking blows the whistle on you for fucking everything you do. So, I don't know. I'm just, I'm a little bit baffled right now. Fair use is a bitch. Fair use is fucking bullshit. You have to appeal stuff. Meanwhile, your videos get taken down. It's such trash. Why you gotta be like that, YouTube? Stop being a dick. Fuck. Yeah, no one's trying to watch the movie. I didn't even have the audio of the movie going on. And I had my stupid ass face on screen, and the thumbnail was in the corner. It was totally altering the footage was transformative in nature. I don't know. I guess there was some other bullshit with maybe the video itself, the footage itself is copyrighted. If that's the case, then fair enough. I didn't know that. That sucks. Missed everything this week. Had to watch at work. Oh, damn, Rick Reno. Well, good to see you again, though, brother. Glad you could come hang out. Yeah, someone must have hated. I don't know what's going on, but that's okay. Anyways, bottom line is, now that I've pretty much addressed this whole movie, pretty much, what can I say now? Barring the YouTube shit, fuck the YouTube shit. Let's just talk about this franchise now. Thanks to Clonius. Yeah, the last few seconds of the film is worth watching. If anything, just watch the ending sequence, which we were getting to, and that's exactly when it cut off the fucking footage. That sucks, because I wanted to show that sequence. But whatever, they're not letting me do it, so fuck it. Yeah, what was I gonna say now? Yeah, fuck, now I'm all pissed off. Oh, fuck's sake. The last few seconds of the movie are gold. With Freddy's glove coming out of the dirt, grabbing Jason's mask and laughing and fucking pulling him down. And that sets up Freddy vs. Jason. I think that's the coolest shit. And it's all because New Line Cinema bought the rights to Jason Voorhees and but not Friday the 13th. They only bought the rights to Jason Voorhees. So hence why they can use the name Jason in the title, but they can't use the name Friday the 13th in the title because they don't own those rights. Those rights still belong to Paramount. So yeah, this whole fucking honestly, the Friday the 13th franchise is a mess in terms of who owns it and legal issues. Currently, there's still a fucking lawsuit going on between Victor Miller, the original screenwriter for Friday the 13th of 1980, and Sean Cunningham, the director. So what's going on is Victor Miller signed over the rights to Sean Cunningham, or not signed over the rights, but he pretty much gave all rights and freedom to Sean Cunningham for Friday the 13th. He had no idea that this was going to be like this big ass multi-$100 million selling franchise, right? So he just signed over the rights willy nilly. It's all good. And Sean Cunningham owns pretty much everything for the last 35 years, up until around 2015. And then Victor Miller wanted a piece of the pie, and Sean Cunningham's like, nah. And Victor Miller's like, well, it's been 35 years. That's the copyright law. You know, after 35 years, then you can appeal it and make it so that you can sign me over a check. Because he's only earned like fucking $46,000 in the last 30 years or 35 years from this fucking franchise. It's pretty pathetic, actually. Paramount owns Mortal Kombat 2. I'm not sure about that. I don't know much about Mortal Kombat, but it was pretty sick that Jason was in Mortal Kombat X. He was my main in Mortal Kombat X. Beat the fuck out of everybody with Jason. It was so sick. Anyways, so now Sean Cunningham is in the middle of a lawsuit with Victor Miller. I think Victor Miller has every right to sue the shit out of Sean Cunningham. He hasn't earned really a dime from this trash, and Sean Cunningham is mostly to blame for that. So what's funny is Victor Miller actually won the lawsuit, and Sean Cunningham has now appealed it, and now they're going through this process yet again. So this fucking lawsuit is just ongoing. And all because Sean Cunningham is being a little bit greedy right now. He's already earned millions and millions from this franchise, but he doesn't want to cough up another couple of million to this guy, even though he could totally afford it, just because he's a greedy fuck. So, yeah, even though Victor Miller totally earned it, he deserves it. So, anyways, it's a damn fucking shame that him and the fans are suffering right now, and Sean Cunningham is just laughing all the way to the bank. It's such bullshit. So this franchise is in a fucking heap of shit right now. It's just such a mess. It's so sad. Meanwhile, Halloween is coming out with 2 more movies, and A Nightmare on Elm Street's being greenlit for yet another film. Robert Englund has shown interest in coming back and playing Freddy again for one last time, because the dude's already like 73. So, you know, this will probably be his last hurrah as Freddy Krueger. But the point is, we're getting more Nightmare. We're definitely getting more Halloween, and Friday is just getting fucked. It's so upsetting for major fans like me, and for people in the fucking in the chat, and people watching this video after the case. You know, we can all relate to each other. But yeah, Robert Englund has shown interest in playing Freddy again, so that's fucking great. My vids are great. Thanks, Rick Reno. I appreciate it. That means a lot, man. You rage out whenever you're Jason. Whenever I'm Jason. Yeah, dude, I feel so fucking sick when I'm Jason. Anyway, so we'll get back to the ranking. Friday the 13th, Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, is the worst film of the franchise. I don't recommend it to anybody who's just trying to get into the franchise. It's actually pretty bad. I hate it on some level, but I also kind of have like a soft spot in my heart for it because it was one of the first Friday films I ever saw. I was like 3 or 4 years old when I watched this movie. It was pretty much brand new when I first watched this film. So, you know, is what it is. Jason Goes to Hell, don't recommend it, but if you are a completionist, then watch it because it's not super, super terrible, but it's also pretty fucking super terrible. Bad writing, bad acting, bad story, lots of mistakes. The editing is shit. The convoluted storyline with the family being introduced. He has a sister now and a niece and all this trash. He can only be killed by a family member. They have to use a magical dagger to kill him. Jason's like a demon now. He's fucking swapping bodies the whole fucking film. Okay, let's talk about that real quick. I didn't talk about that at all. The way Jason is portrayed in this film is we just saw, we didn't see because fucking YouTube shut my shit down, but He got blown up by the FBI in the beginning, in the first 5 minutes, right? Then his body or remains are taken to a coroner. The coroner fucking is, recording all the stuff he's saying about how Jason was blown up and shit, and be like, oh, it seems like he was burnt alive by a big explosion, and this guy's deader than shit. Strict that last recording from the records and all that stuff, whatever the fuck. And then Jason's heart starts beating, and then the coroner grabs the heart and fucking takes a bite out of it because he's getting, like, possessed by Jason's essence. And so now Jason is inside the coroner, dude, and then the coroner guy goes and kills a bunch of people. He actually does the best kill in the movie, where he like takes that steel pipe or he rams it through the tent when the chick is riding the dude, and then when they're fucking in the tent, and he rams it through the tent and through the chick's sternum, and it just slices right up, and it just cuts her from fucking here all the way up to fucking her head, and she just gets pretty much ripped in half. Sick fucking kill. It's a damn shame it wasn't Jason himself in his real body doing that kill, but still a really cool kill. One of the more memorable kills in the franchise. It's just a shame it had to be in this piece of shit movie. But, yeah, the ending was pretty cartoony. The ending was pretty bad. And then after that, the coroner is like losing his fucking, he can't withstand Jason's essence in him for super long, so he has to like transfer his essence to another person. So he does it to a cop, and then he does it to a lawyer guy, and then he does it to another cop, and he changes bodies like 4 times in the whole film, and then finally comes back into his normal body by going into his dead sister's body, crawling into her vagina as like a little deadite slithering snake thing. It's so fucking stupid. I don't even like talking about it. It's terrible. Bad fucking movie, but also if you're drunk or stoned or you're just a completionist, you don't have to skip it. You don't have to skip it. I recommend you skip it, but I also don't blame you for wanting to watch it. If you want to watch shit movies like Freddy's Dead or Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, or Halloween Resurrection, then you're fucking stupid for that, because those movies are trash. But this movie, not absolute shit, but still shit. Okay? It's just a little bit less shit than those other ones I just mentioned. So, anyways, okay. Jason Goes to Hell, worst of the franchise. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. So, pretty much, the bottom 4 films in my ranking are going to be unanimous with almost every fan out there, I think. Jason X, Jason Goes to Hell, those are easily the 2 of the most hated films in the franchise. Jason X is, so incredibly useless to this franchise. There's nothing about this movie that needs to be in the franchise. It's so Jason goes to fucking space. So many stupid things are addressed in this film. Like Jason has the ability now in this film to regenerate according to the film, but he never actually regenerates in the film. They just say that he can do that. When the fuck did that come into play? Yeah, Maniac, is this about space? He's in fucking space for the majority of this film. It's so fucking stupid. So the film starts. It's totally non-canon, by the way. This film is not canon. It does not belong in the Friday lore. This is just, they only made this for money. There is no addition to the storyline with this film at all. It acts like it's part of the canon, but it's not. It's just fucking there. You could skip this and nothing matters. Nothing, because what happens is Jason is, in the beginning of the film, he's captured, and then he escapes because he's fucking Jason, and then he's cryogenically frozen, and then it's like cut to the next scene. It takes place in the year 2455. From that point on, it starts in 2008. Then he's cryogenically frozen for 450 years, and then he's fucking 2455. We see the next scene. Jason is a frozen block of ice. This chick is frozen with him. Her name is Ronan. She's the final girl of the movie. She's actually not a bad final girl. There are way worse final girls in this franchise, and we will get to the worst final girl in the franchise in a sec. But is that a scorpion hook shot that he's holding? Yeah, he actually uses that in the beginning of the film. It is pretty sick. There are some cool scenes in this film. It's like a TV show, like not a real movie. Yeah, pretty much. The design was horrible for Jason X too. Jason, like his standard design in this film is the worst in the franchise. He looks like shit. He looks like a regular dude with a hockey mask on. It's so bad. Whereas in the other films, he's like all fucked up in the back of his head. You can tell he's got a deformity issue going on. He's fucking just looks like a regular dude in this film. He's got hair. Ugh, ugh, so bad. Um, Anyways, one of the coolest kills in the franchise in this movie, though, gotta be honest, the what's it called, the liquid nitrogen kill when he's just been brought back onto the ship, and he's totally frozen still, and it's the year's 2455. So this doctor chick, this scientist chick, is observing his body, and then he gets up, he just regenerates just like that because it's fucking Jason, right? He gets up and he grabs her and he puts her face into this vat of liquid nitrogen, and the camera it has a shot of her face going into liquid nitrogen from the perspective of the sink itself. So you see her face going into liquid nitrogen, completely freezes. Jason pulls her out, and then he smashes her face on a table, and her face just explodes because it's totally frozen. Pretty fucking sick kill. Everybody loves that kill. They bring back the sleeping bag kill in this movie from part 7. There's some memorable kills, but the fucking film itself is just not necessary. It's a mess. The writing is bad. It's not even fun. It's not fun to watch. I don't like watching this film. Honestly, if I had to pick between watching this and Jason Goes to Hell, probably just go to bed. I don't know which one to pick. I honestly struggled between the two films of which I would prefer having a number 12 and having a number 11. I don't like either of them, but they're both fucking. They're both trash. They're both as on-screen bullshit as slashers get. Okay, they're totally not necessary films at all. They're literally made for money, and that's it. The only reason they made these movies is money. But this one most specifically because it's not even canon to the storyline. There's nothing in this film that comes with the fucking franchise. Like, the franchise is totally fucking fine. If this film doesn't exist or didn't exist, then nothing would be different. So, anyways, currently watching part 6. Oh, fuck yeah, that's a good-ass film. Okay, well, we'll talk about part 6 in a bit. But what's up, Ink? How you doing, girl? Oh, God, this film makes me... Oh, anyways, Jason X. The ending is stupid. So Jason transforms because he's on the ship and these, like, fucking regenerative ant bug things that they have on board. Like, it sounds so fucking stupid because it is. But these regenerative ant things that are on board, like, he gets shot to shit. And by the robot chick in the movie, yeah, there's a robot in the movie that beats his ass. This is not me just talking shit. This is in the fucking film. Robot chick beats his ass, shoots him to hell. He pretty much, dies. Nanomachines, yeah, yeah, pretty much. Jason comes back to life by the use of nanomachines, and they transform his body into well, I guess you could call him Jason X, but he in the end of the credits, his name is titled as Uber Jason or Uber Jason if you're not German. Uber Jason means over Jason, more powerful than Jason. I did like Uber Jason's look. Yeah, Uber Jason is a cool, badass looking character. He's like black on one side and completely metallic on the other side. His mask is 100% metallic. He's got a really cool looking metallic machete. It looks pretty futuristic. He's all built he's like built as a brick shithouse. Like, you can see every little muscle in everything. Like, he's just oozing musculars. You know what I mean? Like, Jason's just fucking beastly as Jason X or as Uber Jason, whatever the fuck. You like my shirt? Thanks, Hank. I appreciate it. The only part I like about this movie is the liquid nitrogen face death. That's the one I just talked about, actually. Yeah, that's a great fucking kill. Besides that, this movie is fucking shit. I like it just a smidge better than Jason Goes to Hell. They're both shit movies, though. Again, watch this film if you want to watch a Friday movie and you've seen all the other ones. I don't recommend you just skip this if you've never seen it and you are a Friday fan. If you want to watch this film, go ahead and watch this film. Uh, sure, but it's shit. Jason X himself, like Uber Jason, is fucking cool, and that's the only redeeming factor with the movie. I think that's probably the only thing that the only reason I have it above Jason Goes to Hell is because Uber Jason is actually kind of cool. Would be sick on the Friday the 13th game. Yeah, Uber Jason, you know what? They would have put him in the Friday the 13th game if the fucking lawsuit wasn't going on. Everything, as far as production goes, with Friday the 13th, everything is on hold with this fucking lawsuit. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing's going to happen until this lawsuit is finished. So it's so upsetting that this thing is still continuing when it's been going on for 2 fucking years. God, it's so brutal. Anyways, Jason X, whatever, nothing great. I don't recommend it. But if you want to watch a Friday film and you've seen all the others and you want to check this one out, sure, go ahead. You're not going to like it, but you know, maybe you will like it. Most people hate it, but if you're one of those fucking weirdos and you end up liking this film, whatever, that's totally fine. Let's go on to number 10. Number 10 is actually this film is a lot of people's least favorite in the franchise, and I can totally understand why. Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Jason is like okay. The joke, it's not a joke anymore because it's not funny. But the joke is, this movie should have been titled Jason Takes a Boat. Fuck off. Everybody fucking says that shit. It's true, but it's so overdone. I don't, fuck it. He is on a ship for an hour of the film. And then in the beginning of the movie is like 10 minutes of introduction. Then Jason gets on the boat, and he's on a boat for an hour of the film. So we're an hour and 10 minutes into the movie, and we still haven't gotten to Manhattan. This film is shot once he does get to Manhattan, quote unquote. This film is shot in Vancouver, which is like right beside where I live, which is pretty fucking cool. It's just too bad I was born a year too late to see that shit. I was born in 1990. This film came out in 1989. So he's on a fucking boat the whole time. There's one shot in the entire film where he's in Manhattan, and that's where you see Jason standing in Times Square, and there's all the fucking people around him, and he's like looking up, and there's all these crazy lights and stuff. Times Square, everybody knows Times Square. There's like a shot of like the promotion for the original Batman film, Tim Burton's Batman. Like you can see that in the background. It's pretty cool. Because it was 1989. That's when both these films came out. So Jason Takes Manhattan does not take place in Manhattan. But that's not the problem I have with this film. Okay? I don't care. This movie is badass as fuck. If you say so, bro. If you say so. I'm not a fan of it. But this film is the first one on this list that I usually won't skip if I'm doing a full-on Friday the 13th marathon. I will skip Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X, but I most of the time won't skip this one. Just because it's Friday the 13th. This is the final film in the franchise until we get to the remake that has Friday the 13th in the title, because this is the last Paramount film until we get to the remake, which we'll talk about later because I like that film. But Jason Takes Manhattan, I don't know, like there's some fucking, the uppercut, okay. That's one thing I do like about this film. This film demonstrates a lot of Jason's abilities. You know, in the game, in Friday the 13th, the game, Jason can teleport and shit. That is established in this movie. This is the film. The 8th fucking film in the franchise is the one that establishes the fact that Jason can teleport and he can, like, there's a reason that because he literally teleports all over the fucking place in this movie. Like, a person will be looking over there, and then they'll fucking, they'll just turn their head and Jason will be over there now. It's fucking like, it's so stupid. I don't like that they did that, but you know what? It adds some kind of cool, fun shit to the games. So whatever, at least it makes the game's teleporting shit make a little more sense. But the game came out like 30 years after this film was made, so like they even had that in mind. I don't see what the hell the point of the teleporting thing was. But, punching off Julius's head, the boxer, that was a cool fucking kill. That was the best kill in the film, in my opinion. Not a fan of the teleportation. It's cool in the game, but yeah, I agree. I don't think they should have made it as obvious that Jason teleports. Like, he straight up teleports in this movie. In other movies, it's like, oh man, how did he get there so fast? How did he fucking catch up to that chick when she was running full speed ahead and Jason's walking at like fucking 2 miles an hour and he's fucking way ahead of her now? I don't understand that shit. In this movie, it's straight up like, okay, obviously he's teleporting. He's on the street in one scene, he's on the street in an alleyway, and then the uncle dude, I don't remember any of these fucking characters' names until we get to the later films on this list because I actually care about those movies. This movie has the best kills. Bro, no. Have you ever watched the final chapter? All right, we're going to get to that. This movie has the best kills. It does have some cool kills. The head kill, when he punches Julius's head off. You know how much force, here's a fun fact. You know how much force it takes to punch a human being's head clean off? I looked it up. It is the equivalent of a car traveling at 75 miles per hour or having a minimum of 2,100 foot-pounds of force in an individual strike. So 2,100 psi, pounds per square inch, in a strike. So Jason has like a megaton of force in one punch. His one punch has enough to total a fucking car. Yeah, take your best shot, motherfucker. And then he grabs him and he's just fucking brrr. So fucking sweet. Yeah, I love that shit. That was sick. That made the movie worth it to me. That was one of the coolest fucking kills ever. And it really demonstrates Jason Shear's strength. Like, the dude can total a fucking car in one punch. Like, that is fucking sweet. So, you know, I like that it establishes that Jason's a fucking brick shithouse. But the movie itself, the characters, Rennie, the final girl, is probably the second, if not the worst final girl in the franchise. There's definitely an argument can be made that she's the worst final girl in the franchise. The worst final girl in the franchise we'll talk about next in a second here. But Rennie is borderline useless. What the fuck is the deal with Jason being a kid and having hair and looking normal in some scenes, and then in other scenes he looks completely different and is all fucked up? I don't know if Rennie was just super stoned or super high from the heroin that the bad guys in New York injected in her when they kidnapped her, but you know, that she sees him a bunch of times before that scene happens, and she's I don't know. Fuck this movie. It's good to watch clips of. This is another film I recommend if you want to watch shit from this film. Just YouTube the cool kills and be done with it. What other kills are memorable? Well, he's like this one right here on screen. He's got the guitar. He takes the fucking electric guitar and he kills the chick with the... And I'm a metalhead. I'm a guitarist. I'm a singer. I fucking love heavy metal. And this film has Jason killing a heavy metal chick with an electric guitar. So, you know, that's fucking sweet. He just fucking cracks her on the skull with it, and then the camera gets all bloody, and it's pretty cool. The MPAA dumbs down the kills in this fucking movie a little bit too much to have it be anything memorable. Like I said, the later films in this fucking list are gonna be. He kills the old man, had me laughing. Oh yeah, when he takes the uncle guy, he's the big asshole in the film. Every film has an asshole. He takes the uncle and he throws him in a vat of toxic waste. Like New York sewer stuff, toxic waste. That's some shit, dude. And he kills that involving guitar. Sick? Yeah, fuck yeah. That was pretty sick. I like that kill. And then it all turns to shit again until Julius gets his head knocked off. And the uncle gets killed by drowning in toxic waste. Like, damn. That would be not... Oh, man. Drowning alone is already one of my fucking, like, least favorite ways to die if I had to pick. But drowning in New York sewage toxic waste, fuck, dude, gross. Every time I watch that, I'm like, feel like oh man, it just brings me back to when I first saw that scene and I almost puked. That was some crazy shit. The rest of the kills besides the one I mentioned suck, not even cool. Well, the three I just mentioned, the guitar kill, the head getting punched off, and the sewage kill are pretty cool. The rest of them are trash. There's that one where he kills the bitch, the mean bitch with the takes a shard of the mirror. He like fucking punches the mirror and then grabs a shard of the mirror and stabs her with the mirror, but the camera cuts away before it even fucking sees it going into her. It's fucking stupid. There's one where he just strangles the Chinese or the Asian girl. Yeah, that was racist. The Chinese, fuck, the Asian girl. He strangles the Asian chick. He throws the nerd guy on a fucking. I don't know any of their names because fuck these characters. He throws the nerd guy on the fucking in the cruise ship. He grabs him and he throws him on like a bunch of electrical equipment and he gets electrocuted to death. It's whatever. He slits the captain's throat and it's like slow motion and the death is so fucking stupid and fake looking. Does Jason just kill to kill or does he have a reason? Well, he has it's kind of both. He's basically a mindless killer, but on the other side, he's got like he has subconsciously his mother is still kind of in his head all the time, and she's always wanting him to kill for her and all this stuff. So he's constantly going like he's trying to kill for his mom, you know. He's just genuinely pissed off. You know, his mother was the only person that Jason ever loved, and the only person that ever loved Jason. Jason grew up getting bullied all his life by kids and even camp counselors. His mom was the only one to ever show him love and affection. And then she gets beheaded. It's assumed that Jason actually saw that happen. And, you know, and he's got a mental retardation thing going on, right? Like the guy's got an issue mentally. So, you know, put all those things together and you're going to get one pissed off beef bus of a character. Jason, like, no wonder he kills everybody all the fucking time. He's just pissed off for the rest of his life. From that point on, he's just fucking done. He's pissed about everything forever. So, I mean, you know, like I don't blame him, honestly. I put yourself in Jason's shoes. He's actually kind of a sympathetic character, to be honest. He's nothing like Freddy or Michael in that sense, because Freddy and Michael are the embodiment of true evil. There is no rhyme or reason for what they do. They're just fucked up, evil fucking dudes. And that's a reason I love those guys so much. But Jason is actually kind of relatable in some sense because I don't know about you guys, but I used to get bullied hard when I was a child, when I was super young in elementary school. And these Friday the 13th films kind of like, in a fucked up way, kind of was like, oh, I was kind of relating to this stuff a little bit. I think everybody did. You know, obviously I'm not fucked up to go and kill somebody, but I'm not fucked up enough to go do that. But, you know, it's at the same time, you can kind of relate to Jason on some level. Freddy and Michael are not really relatable at all to me personally because they're just sick and twisted fucks for no reason. They just kill because they're evil. Jason actually has a reason. He's sympathetic. And I like that essence to his character. So he's not pure evil. Yes, he's evil, but he's not pure evil. There is a side to him that's more of a softer side. But anyways, I'm digressing here. Jason Takes Manhattan, shitty film in the franchise. I don't recommend it to anybody again, but I think you should watch this one if you want to complete your collection. That's the only way I'd recommend this film. If you're just trying to get into this franchise, again, don't watch this fucking film. I don't recommend it. But if you want to complete it for completion's sake, sure. He was born to kill, not to fight. That's so sick. That's fucking, for everybody who doesn't know, Big Red's quoting the song Gladiator from my Malevolence Gladiator record. So that's pretty funny. Only you and me get that reference. That's pretty funny, dude. Okay, anyways, number 10. Entertaining to some extent, has some cool kills, but I don't recommend this film at the end of the day. Shitty characters, nothing memorable about them, terrible final girl, bad writing. Jason is a weird version of himself. Oh, when he's got his mask off, he looks like shit. The ending where he dies with the sewers get filled up with toxic waste, and he just gets drowned in a bunch of toxic waste at the end of the film. It's like you couldn't have come up with anything better than that. That's almost up there with fucking the magic dagger that needs to be used in wielded by a member of Jason's family, and then it's almost that bad. That's how bad it is as a kill for Jason. It's getting up there. Black eyes like a doll's eyes. Like a doll's eyes. Fucking Jaws. Oh, it's so sick. That's another franchise. That's one of my favorite childhood films. Anyways, number 10, Jason takes Manhattan. Whatever. He's on a cruise ship for an hour and a half, and then the last 10 minutes he's in fucking New York, and he's not even in New York. He's in Vancouver. But that's not the problem I have with the film. I really don't give a shit about the title. I care about the writing and the creativity of the film, and there's just nothing here in terms of substance compared to the other films. So, we'll get to that on your Halloween ranking list. Yeah, all that one of the greatest quotes of all time by Dr. Samuel Loomis. Yep. My Halloween ranking list will be next after this Friday list. But anyways, all right, let's do this shit. One more thing about Jason's look there. He's just slimy the whole film. Ink Ribbon, you come up with a good point. He drowns in shit? Yes, Brandon. He drowns in literal shit. That's the closest I think the franchise has ever come to mocking the character of Jason Voorhees, is that he actually drowns in shit. That's how he dies. He's literally eating shit to death. And then he turns into a child. Right after that, the sewage water goes down, and then the characters look down at Jason, and he's a fucking kid again. It's so fucking stupid. Anyways, fuck it. This movie's just making me mad. Third worst of the franchise, but honestly, you could like interchange these three films and have, this on the bottom and Jason X on, as number 10 and Jason Goes to Hell as number 11 or whatever the fuck you want to do. I agree with any of that. Anyways, next in the franchise, number 9. Let's do this. So, like I said, my bottom 4 are all shit, in my opinion. I don't recommend them to anybody, unless you want to complete the collection, like I said. So number 12, 11, 10, and 9 are all films I will always skip when I'm doing a Friday the 13th marathon. The reason that this is number 9... Roy Burnhees. There's a bunch of reasons why this one's on number 9. To be honest, they blurred out Pam's tits on AMC's showing of this. That's funny. AMC's fucking shitty for that. They won't even let you say the fuck word. Number 5, Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. There's a bunch of reasons why this film sucks, okay? Let's see. All right. First of all, it comes after Part 4. It's directly following Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. The final chapter, quote unquote. So that is a problem right there because it's already following one of the strongest films in the franchise easily, if not the strongest film. We'll get to that one way later as well. But so it has big shoes to fill following that movie. Just a year later, this film came out in 1985. Okay? Friday the 13th, Part 5, the whole thing takes place because of a chocolate bar. I'm not kidding. The whole movie happens over a chocolate bar. It's Tommy Jarvis from Part 4 is the main character in this film. He's the main protagonist. And he's basically a shell of his former self when he was a child because he's all fucked up by Jason, so he's been committed to a psychiatric institution. And this movie takes place a few years after Part 4, so Tom is a little bit older now, and the location is a halfway house. Tommy Jarvis is in a halfway house with a bunch of other people that are also coming out of the psychiatric institution, they're trying to make their way back into the real world. They're trying to become normal, regular citizens of the world again, and so all these people have a little bit of problems mentally going on, but they're not totally fucking crazy. They're just they're coming back to reality now. There are some issues with a couple of the characters, though. There's one kid in there. His name is what's his name? Anyways, he's the fat guy. Somebody tell him his name. Somebody tell me his name. I can't remember his fucking name. The fat guy that has the chocolate bar. Fuck. How do I not remember this fucking guy's name? Anyways, again, I don't care about these movies. Joey. There you go. Thanks, Hank. Joey. Joey is he has a learning disability, okay? And so he's just trying to be friendly, and he's talking to these people in the backyard. They're doing laundry and stuff. And then there's this guy, Vic. He's off in the corner. He's chopping wood with an axe, and he looks really pissed off, right? And Joey's just, like, hey, girls, can I help you with the laundry? And then he fucks up their laundry by covering, their clean laundry in chocolate with his chocolate-covered hands because he's eating a candy bar and stuff. And they get pissed off at him. They're like, Joey, fuck off. And he's like, okay, I'm sorry. And then he goes talk to Vic. Vic's chopping wood. And he's like, fuck off. Leave me alone. And he's just trying to talk to him. He's just, he's got a learning disability. Feel for him. Anyways, he's like, here, do you want one, Vic? You want a chocolate bar? And he hands him a chocolate bar. And then Vic's like, fuck off. I said, leave me alone. And then he smashes the chocolate bar in half with the axe. And he's looking at Joey all fucking mad, like, fuck off, man. Joey's like, wow, I can't believe you. I think, you know something, Vic? Forget it. Just forget it. But you know something? I think you're really out of line. And then he fucking turns around and Vic just comes at him with the axe and just rips him to pieces with the fucking axe. And he's the first kill in the movie. The first kill in this movie is not even done by Jason. It's done by a regular dude with an axe. So anyways, he kills this Joey guy. And then the next scene you see Vic in a cop car. He gets his ass hauled off to prison. Joey's dead. And then you get all these people coming up and the paramedics and all this stuff. And one of the paramedics, sees Joey on the ground. He's like, oh shit. He has a pretty negative reaction to seeing this kid all hacked to bits on the ground. He's like, there's obviously something going on with him. Anyways, after that, it appears as if Jason has come back because now a bunch of murders are taking place. Like immediately after that scene, there's a whole bunch of kills that go down, and we don't know who it is. The film is a whodunit. Virtually, it's a whodunit because Jason is apparently dead from the fourth film, as when he's apparently gets killed by Tommy Jarvis in the fourth film. Jason is apparently back killing people in this film. And you know what? To be honest, there's like 22 kills in this whole fucking film. This movie, straight up, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. It's not fucking Jason. It's Roy Burns. He's fucking Roy Burns in this film. Roy Burns is the paramedic that sees his fucking kid Joey getting killed, or he sees him dead on the fucking ground, hacked to bits by this Vic guy. And then he just goes around killing fucking everybody in the area after that. He just dons the Jason persona. He has this stupid fucking Jason mask on with the blue chevrons on instead of the red. It's supposed to be red, one on top, 2 red ones on the side. But he's got no red one on the top. He's got 2 blue ones on the side. It looks like shit. I fucking hate it. Anyways, so Jason, or Roy, kills more people in this movie than any other Friday the 13th film ever. This is by far the most kills Jason has ever done, or a Jason character has ever done in a film. Maybe except for Freddy vs. Jason. I can't remember if Freddy vs. Jason has more kills by Jason than this one. But they're pretty fucking neck and neck. And this guy's not even Jason. Count Pupper, you like the blue? You would. Jesus. You like to think that Jason was controlling Roy? Nah. You're just using your head canon for that shit. Don't defend this piece of shit. This movie sucks. There's no Jason. Now, here we go. People are going to be like, oh, you only don't like this film because there's no Jason. That is the main reason, yeah. But let's take that aside let's move that aside real quick. There is no Jason, period. He's not in this movie at all, barring a couple of flashback remembering sequences that Tommy has. You take that aside, the whole no Jason factor. Now, the writing is so bad. There are so many useless and unnamed characters, like the 2 greasers from the 50s that are going to some party. Roy goes up. I almost said Jason again. Roy goes up and kills them. One of the cool deaths in the film is where he takes like a flare and he just shoves it in one of the guys' mouths and they fucking choke on a lit flare. I think that's a pretty cool kill. But they're literally just there to be killed, and that's fine. That's usually how a lot of characters are in the film. But these guys are established within halfway through the film. They're established. There's one scene of them where the car breaks down. one of them goes off in the woods to take a crap, as he says. Oh, you fucking fix it. I gotta take a crap. And he goes in the fucking woods, like 50 fucking miles into the woods, obviously, because, you know, you gotta go 50 miles in the woods to take a crap, because that's just the way it works. You don't have to just, there's no possible way you can just do it on the fucking side of the road like a normal fucking person. No, he's gotta walk 50 fucking miles in the woods. Whatever, I don't care. So the one guy gets fucked up, and then the other guy comes back and gets a flare to the face, and that's it. That's it. It's a 3-minute scene with a couple of greasers we've never seen in this fucking movie before. They have no connection to any other characters. They're just in the movie for 3 fucking seconds to get killed, and that's it. And then they're gone. Why? Why even fucking put them in the movie? There's no, like, what, we're just trying to extend the fucking runtime of the film? I think it's fucking stupid. Like, you don't need them. You didn't need them in the film. And when you're just adding characters to, like, if they're not part of the immediate circle of friends that are involved in who Jason kills, and you're just taking random fucks, like, out of nowhere to just add more kills to the film, like, you could tell right there that the film was just grasping at straws. So, right there, bad writing, stupid creativity. I don't like it. It's just shitting on the side of the road and you see headlights coming your way. Dude, I've been there, man. Not shitting on the side of the road, but, you know, doing other stuff on the side of the road. And headlights came my way. I was like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. Roy doesn't even kill the man who killed his son. Exactly. That was what I was just going to fucking say, actually. So, of all the people that Roy is taking out his vengeance on, he doesn't even get to kill the dude that killed his fucking son because he's in jail. Everybody else that wasn't even involved in the murder gets killed by this guy. So he's just on a murderous rampage because, you know, whatever. Apparently he loves his son so much, even though nobody even knew that they were father and son. The whole film, until you see when Roy finally dies at the end of the film, when Tommy cuts his hand off and Roy's holding on to Pam, which we will talk about in a second. She's that final girl. It's terrible. And then you see Roy's mask, the mask come off, and you see Roy's face revealed and all this shit when he falls down on the spikes by the barn area there. Then they fucking find out that they're father and son by pulling a picture out of Roy's wallet. The chief of police guy pulls a picture out of Roy's wallet and is like, oh, it was his fucking kid. That's the Roy just must have snapped. They had no fucking idea that he was fucking father and son. There's a picture in his wallet. That's how you find out that they're related? What the fuck? It's so fucking stupid. Anyways, here we go. Final girl shit. The final girl, Pam. Worst final girl in the franchise. Easily. Totally smoking hot. I would bend her over all the furniture. 100%. Smoking hot. But fucking terrible final girl. There is a scene in this where she is running from Roy and she trips and falls on the ground or some shit. I don't remember the scene. But she's on the ground in the mud and Roy's standing over her with the machete in his hand. He's about to kill her. And she's just laying there, just saying, no. She's just doing a typical non-final girl stuff right before they get killed. She gave up. That is not a final girl. She fucking gave up. She just like, fuck it, I guess I'm dead now. And then she was just fucking laying there. That's not a final girl. You know a final girl? Ginny in part 2. Chris in part 3. Trish in part 4. Those are fucking final girls. Those chicks were badass as AF. She's just laying on the fucking ground, just like, oh, I guess I'll just take it. I don't care. I'm sorry that you know, fucking, I'll make it easier for you. Sorry, I'm so difficult to kill. It's fucking, piss off, man. That's not Final Girl. The only reason she survived that was because Reggie comes up with a fucking, Reggie's the little black kid. He's fucking awesome. He's the only character I actually really like in the movie. He's cool. He's a little kid, and he saves her by driving a tractor, and it shines the lights on Roy. And Roy's all blinded by the light, and then Reggie fucking comes up and smacks Roy out of the way and saves Pam with the tractor. And what the fuck? Gets a machete in the film and gets garden shears in the game. Talk about consistency. Well, he does have garden shears in that one scene where there's 2 people are having sex in the woods. The 2 kids having sex in the woods. The one chick, gets killed by having garden shears to the face. She gets garden shears to the eyes, and then he fucking clips her fucking face, like shoves them in her eyes, and then fucking that, whatever. Pretty shitty kill though, because they don't even show it. And then I think the best kill actually in the movie, now that I remember it, is where the dude sees his dead girlfriend's body, and he's scared shitless, and he starts backing up against a tree. And then Roy comes up behind him and throws a leather strap around his face, and then grabs the leather strap and starts tying a piece of wood, like turning a piece of wood around the leather strap. So he's just tightening the fucking strap against the dude's face, and it's like it's caving in his skull as he's doing it. Probably the best kill in the movie. Megan from Part 6 is a cool final girl. Yeah, I agree. She was really cool too. Very relatable, really cool attitude. I liked her chemistry with the sheriff. Her dad. Yeah, it was all really cool. Is people having sex in horror movies key? In Friday the 13th it is. Friday the 13th is literally all about sex and kills. There's nothing really of substance to these movies at all. They're like I said, they're just schlock with, cool kills and lots of tits. And we love it for that. I mean, why not? I'm cool with that. Also, this movie has the most nudity in the franchise because it was actually directed by a guy who did porn. He directed porn. The dude who directed this film, I can't remember his name either because, like I said, I don't care about these movies. The bottom four are my bottom four for a reason. He directed porn before he directed this movie. So there's a fuck ton of tits in this film. So if you want to watch it for tits, you came to the right place. There's lots of those. But just the characters are forgettable. Besides Violet's robot dance in that one room in that scene where she's dancing to "There's a man with no life in his eyes." That fucking song, I don't remember that song's name, but she's listening to that song and she's doing the robot dance. That's probably the most memorable scene in the movie. And then Roy comes up from behind her and grabs her and fucking picks her up against the wall. Apparently Roy's strong enough to lift a girl with one hand against a wall and then put a knife in her sternum and okay, maybe. I don't fucking know. Dude looked like a skinny little bitch when he was when he's in his regular paramedic attire, but whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Cool scene, that one, I guess. Ethel and Junior. Okay. Ethel and Junior. All right. I can't stop talking about this film until I've addressed Ethel and Junior. They are the rednecks. Ethel is a potty mouth using fucking like terrible. I mean, she's also lovable in her own way because she's such a bitch and she just fucking swears. I'll fucking kill those. If I see those little fucks on the property, I won't hesitate to fucking shoot them. You better fucking do your job, Sheriff. And she's just so fucking, she's got so much energy. And then, and then her son Junior's like, you tell him, Ma. It's so fucking dumb. Oh, man. Yeah, I got a bomb on me. You don't fucking touch me. I got a bomb on me. Okay, there's a couple of cool scenes with her and fucking Junior. And then fucking, one scene where she's talking about the guy that just came to her door. He was looking for work. Again, another random dude that's just in the movie to get killed. That comes out of fucking nowhere. He's this random homeless guy. He just knocks on Ethel's door. He's like, look, I'm just looking for some work and perhaps a meal. And she's like, you go fucking clean the chicken shit out of all the chicken coop. Then I'll fill your stomach. And then so he fucking does that. Goes off to do that, and then he gets killed, obviously. So he's literally introduced for 2 seconds just to get killed. And then she's talking about how ugly he was. And Junior's like, yeah, Mom, he was fucking ugly. And she's like, would you shut the fuck up? You ain't so good looking yourself, And he's like, I ain't so good looking myself, I know. It's like, what the fuck? The writing is so stupid. But it's laughable in a funny way. I don't know. Those characters are not fun to watch, but they're also extremely fun to watch. I don't fucking know. If you're stoned, they're a fucking riot. If you're stoned, they're hilarious. If you're sober as fuck, you're gonna hate them so much. They're the best of both worlds. They're easy to make fun of. and they're also a lot of fun to watch with the right mindset and the right circumstance. I don't know. They're the best and the worst part of this film, to be honest. So yeah. Anyways, all that being said, the ending is also shit because it gives you the idea that Tommy's going to become Jason at the end by holding up the knife and going to kill Pam, and then it just cuts to fucking credits. Ugh. And then the fans just were in an uproar after that. They're like, fuck that, we want Jason back, this film sucks, all this stuff like that. And sure enough, that's why we got part 6. But, oh my god, what a fucking film. Not a good movie at all. But it's still better than the 3 before it. I gotta give it credit for that, because if I'm gonna leave this film with one thing that I'm gonna say about it, Friday the 13th Part 5 is the last traditional Friday the 13th film in the franchise, with the first person perspectives and the, you don't really see Jason or that you don't see the killer until halfway through the film. It's got that creepy atmosphere, sort of. It is the genuine last film in the franchise that holds that formula. The first 5 movies have that formula, and then once part 6 happens, you see Jason from the beginning. There's no more first-person shots. The atmosphere changes almost completely. In part 6, it changes for the better. But it's a lot. It's a lot. It feels similar to the older films than any other film in the franchise. So part 5, even though it is shit, you can't deny that it is the last traditional Friday the 13th film. Even if it isn't Jason, it still feels like a traditional Friday the 13th film from the old school days. So that is the reason I have it on number 9. Instead of lower than that. It's got that going for it, at least. So if you want to watch traditional, old-school feeling Friday the 13th films and you don't really give a fuck if Jason's in the movie or not, maybe you'll have fun with this one. Besides that, again, I don't really recommend it. It's okay, but you should probably stick to the films I have after this one on the list. Because, full disclosure, from here on out, from number 8 all the way to the top, I love all of them. I love all of them. They are all a blast. I will not ever skip any film in a Friday marathon from number 8 all the way to number 1. They're fucking awesome. They're a goddamn blast. So, before I go to number 8, I'm gonna take a quick breather because my voice is starting to. I need some water. I need to grab a snack. I need something, and then we'll be able to continue with this bitch. But, like I said, part 5, maybe don't skip it if you like traditional Friday feeling films. But if you want to see Jason, don't watch this movie. It is number 9 on my list for a reason. So, can I do a ranking of Friday the 13th sex scenes? That's actually a really fucking good idea. Fuck yeah, let's do it. I'm a pervert, let's fucking go. 3 films in an hour. This is going to take a while. Yeah, well, I had a lot of stuff to say about the bottom 4. So I'm probably going to go through the list a little bit faster from here on out because I can't believe I'm only on number 9, or now I'm on number 8. But okay, give me a minute here. I'm going to take a quick breather, and we'll be right back. Oh, hey Cody, how you doing, man? I'm going to just take a quick breather, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'll see you in a sec. Yourself, am I ready? Look over your shoulder.
point of waiting? If it's headed your way, why don't you just face it? Time for contemplating, we're struggling to answer one thing. Are we ready now? Take a breath, take a moment to relax. The moment's past. You sat alone and reminisce of how things were. Once before you questioned his word, I've seen, I heard. Oh, wherefore art thou, dear Father? Is it even over? Take a look around, ask yourself, am I ready? Look over your shoulder, something may be coming for you. Fast and steady. What's the point of waiting? If it's headed your way, why don't you just face it? Time for contemplating, we're struggling to answer one thing. Are we ready? Are we ready now? Are we ready? I hope you're ready. Is it even over? Take a look around, ask yourself, am I ready? Look over your shoulder, something may be coming for you. Fast and steady. What's the point of waiting? If it's headed your way, why don't you just face it? Time for contemplating, we're struggling to answer one thing. Are we ready now? Are we ready? Are we ready? I hope you're ready. Say goodbye to normal.
Okay, I'm back. I had to get my lasagna. Now I can fucking. Okay, just full disclosure, I gotta fucking ignore you guys more for this ranking, because we're a fucking hour in, and I still got 8 movies to get through. So, I gotta fucking, I don't want this film, or this ranking to be any longer than 2 hours, so let's just go. Okay, number 9, talked about it, good shit. Fucking number 8. Boom. Now, this is where people are gonna start throwing fucking pitchforks and beer cans at me. I don't give a shit. Friday the 13th, the original, is not very good. Let's be real here. You can't just suck this movie's dick because it's the original. Okay? It's not very good. The writing is shit. The characters are whatever. It kicked the door open for the frickin' slasher franchise. All right? Yes. It doesn't have Jason. It's got Jason at the end. It has more Jason in this film than in the fifth film. But the killer in this movie is Pamela Voorhees, his mom. Great, whatever. She's an interesting addition to the franchise. Addition. She's where the franchise all began, and she's scary in her own way, but she's also, I could take her or leave her. I don't really care. Part one is okay, but it doesn't belong any higher on this list in my mind. I like part one as well. Like I said, I love from every film from number 8 to number 1. I love all these movies, but this film doesn't belong any higher than this because there's nothing really of substance for this movie. It's just another slasher fic, really. It's a whodunit again. It's pretty much the exact same formula as part 5. We don't know who the killer is until the end. It kind of pulls a what the fuck at the end with introducing somebody that we really had no connection to at all in the film. So it's like, who even gives a fuck who was the killer? There really isn't any storyline here. Camp counselors come to reopen the camp. I like that they give you the curse of Camp Blood in the beginning of the film. That's an interesting little thing where people are saying like, oh yeah, in the 60s, two counselors were killed in 1958, the year after that boy drowned in 1957, which was Jason. In the 1960s, the camp was trying to be reopened, but there was a bunch of fucking fires. In the 70s, they tried to reopen it again, and the water was poisoned. The Camp Crystal Lake is cursed. You shouldn't go there. All that stuff. And then this film takes place, and everybody gets fucking slaughtered. So it's pretty cool. I like that it introduces some story aspect to the franchise. That's like the most story you pretty much get. It has some cool kills, like Kevin Bacon getting the arrow through the neck under the bed. I have no idea how a middle-aged woman with no workout background in her life, clearly by looking at her, is able to stab an arrow through a mattress and through a dude's neck at the same time. But you know what? Fuck it. I can suspend a little bit of disbelief for the sake of entertainment, because that is a sick kill. There aren't really any memorable characters in the movie. Ned is a fucking moron. He's the prankster, the jokester. There's Bill, who's Alice's love interest. Alice is the final girl. Alice is another extremely weak final girl. She basically got lucky. If she was up against Jason, she would have been dead. Like, done. She would not have been a final girl if she was up against Jason. There's just no fucking way. The only reason she is the final girl is because she just got lucky. She got picked off last. There's nothing separating her from the rest of the group in terms of, like, survival ability or anything like that. There's just nothing really of substance to her character. She's extremely boring. And Ink, you told me that you liked the scene where she's making coffee because it's like a lull and you're wondering what's going to happen next, but I can't fucking stand that scene. The scene where she's making fucking coffee, it lasts the entire process. You can show a scene of her making coffee, but does it have to be the whole fucking process? Putting the fucking grains into the thing? How would you guys feel if I just fucking went over to my kitchen right now, brought my webcam with me, and was like, hey guys, check it out, and I just made coffee for 5 fucking minutes? Everybody would be gone. I wouldn't have any viewers right now at all. You guys would be like, yeah, bro, I'll be back in a bit. That would be the bathroom break opportunity and shit. That's when you guys go get snacks and stuff. Man, there's a lot of filler in this film. There's a lot of filler. They had to extend... You would? Cut Maniac? Fuck, you're fucking weirdo. There's a lot of filler. They had to extend a 30-minute script into a 90-minute movie. Good luck with that shit. And that's why we get scenes like the coffee scene. That's why we get scenes like the fucking killing the snake. Who gives a fuck about the snake? The snake serves zero purpose. The girl, what's her fucking name? I can't remember her name. She's Kevin Bacon's girlfriend in the film. She talks about her dream and how she's, dreams about it's raining and then the rain turns to blood, and they tried to do something with that, but there was nothing. Who gives a fuck? It did nothing to add to the film. So, this is the girl that gets the axe to the head. Marcy. Yeah, Marcy. Talking about her nightmare about raining blood. Why? What purpose did that serve? There was no reason to have that type of dialogue there. It's just to extend the film. In most of the Friday films, it's, one scene leads to another, which leads to another, and they're all connected at some level. In terms of events that take place. But that one is totally useless. The snake getting killed is totally useless. The fucking coffee making scene is totally useless. There's a bunch of shit in this film that's just not, As far as the originals go, for the big three, Freddy, Michael, and Jason, this is by far the weakest of the original three. No question about it. Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and Halloween 1 are undisputedly two of the best horror films ever made. 100% bona fide classics that will never be dethroned. They will always be 1 and 2 in terms of horror movies that are made. In most people's minds. Not in my opinion, but in most people's minds. Although I do absolutely fucking love those films. But they are far and above better than this one. As far as the originals go, this is the weakest one, and it belongs at number 8. Pamela Voorhees getting killed at the end of with the decapitation was cool. The jump scare with Jason coming out of the water as a boy, that was an interesting scene. Really, really scared the shit out of audiences in theaters in 1980 when this film came out. And it scared the fuck out of me when I first saw it too. But I didn't really give a shit. I didn't care about this movie. I watched this when I was like 5 years old, and I was like, fuck, whatever. I don't care. It wasn't until part 2, 3, 4 when I was like really fucking, oh, wow, this is some good-ass shit. But anyways, so that's what I got to say about the original Friday the 13th. It doesn't belong any higher on this list than this. Friday the 13th, part 1. A good introduction to the film, or to the franchise, but it doesn't have Jason. His mom is the killer. There isn't really much in the way of substance in terms of writing. The kills are they're okay. It's fucking Tom Savini. Tom Savini doing the gore effects. He's a goddamn genius. The guy came fresh off of Dawn of the Dead into this film. So, and he's just a goddamn genius with practical effects and all that stuff. So, if you want to watch cool kills with cool gore effects, this has some interesting ones, but he's also responsible for the gore effects and the kills in part 4, and they're far and above better than this one. So just watch that movie if you want to see his masterpieces and his creations, and give some respect to that guy for how much of a genius he is. This film, take it or leave it, you can watch it. I recommend it to everybody, but it doesn't belong any higher than this. It's a good film, but nothing more than that. Okay, number 7. Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. This is basically Jason versus Carrie. I really love this film. This is Kane Hodder plays Jason in this movie. He plays him in Part 7, 8, 9, and 10, which is kind of sad if you think about it, because he plays Jason in some pretty fucking weak Friday films. This movie's really good, and I really enjoy it, but it's just too bad that he's the only person in history to ever play Jason in more film than just one time, and he plays him in all the bad ones. It sucks because he's like the best Jason. He's the best part about the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th films. 100%. Hey Ben Alberino, how you doing? Welcome to the chat, man. So part 7, what do we got to say about this? Tina is a cool final girl, man. She's got these psychic telekinetic powers. She can move shit with her mind. She can see the future. She can see the past. See events that have already taken place in the past that she wasn't present for. What I mean by that, Kane Hodder is a great Jason. He is absolutely one of the best Jasons. He's not my personal favorite, but he's definitely one of the best Jasons that ever did Jason. He's extremely brutal in this film. Jason's the biggest he's ever been in this film. He's a fucking beef bus, 6'4", muscle-bound tank. I love how much punishment he endures in this film. Jason gets his fucking ass kicked in this movie. He gets fucking wrecked in this film. And he looks amazing. Like, look at this shit. This is my mask, my Jason mask. This is the mask from part 7. This is how Jason actually looks in part 7. Look at this shit. Can you guys see that all right? No, probably not, because I fucking suck at this shit. That's how Jason actually looks in part 7. And then you got this bitch. You know, that's his fucked up hockey mask. He even got the crack at the side there. Pretty sweet. Yeah, anyways. So Jason is looking his absolute best in this film. He's a beef bus. He's fucking... Bones are showing. His spine is showing in the back. His clothes are deteriorated. He just looks like a zombie in this movie, and he's fucking so powerful here. They really, really showcase how incredibly strong and durable Jason is. Jason gets electrocuted. Jason gets a bunch of nails driven into his skull and his face. Jason gets hanged. Jason gets fucking set on fire and blown the fuck up in a house, in a cabin, all because Tina is really crazy with her shit. Like, Jason just gets fucking his ass kicked. Tina just fucks him up because she's got these telekinetic abilities. Excuse me. And she's able to combat Jason in a way that he's never experienced from anybody else, right? It was basically a Jason versus Carrie. They actually wanted to do Jason versus Carrie for some stupid fucking reason. And it turned out that, you know, they couldn't get the rights to Carrie, so they just made a character that pretty much is Carrie, has the same abilities as Carrie. Tina is a badass. She's one of the strongest final girls, in my opinion, because of her abilities and just the interesting... stuff that she brings to the table. The characters are totally forgettable. I don't care about any of these characters. Nobody cares about any of these characters, except maybe Melissa. Melissa was awesome. She's a total bitch. She gets an axe to the head and tossed aside like a rag doll for her kill, and that's one of the best kills in the movie. This is one of the only ones that the MPAA didn't completely butcher. There's a character, Ben. He's the black guy. Who gets his face totally squashed by Jason, and they don't show his face getting squashed, even though in the actual set that they built for that, when Jason actually went to kill that guy, the footage they have for that is a gory masterpiece. He's literally just squishing this guy's face down to nothing, and there's blood shooting everywhere, bones are popping out of his cheeks. It's the coolest fucking thing, and they just butchered it. It's so fucking upsetting how unbelievably ripped to shreds the MPAA did with this film. This film suffers the most from the MPAA making their stupid decisions, like, oh, we can't show too much fuck. Yeah, censorship. That's what it was. It was too gory for the film? Hell no, it wasn't. There was just the same amount of gore shit from like part 3 and part 4. But the MPAA, this was made in 1988. In 1988, the MPAA, from like pretty much 86 to like 90, the MPAA was butchering every horror film as far as gore goes. They just did not want to show anything. They show the start of Jason squishing his head, and that's it. Exactly. And it's so upsetting. It's just disappointing as fuck. Because the way they filmed it and the props that they built for that scene are so cool. And just really... every single kill in this movie had so much more to it than what we actually got to see in the final product. And it's just a shame that this movie came out when it did, because if it came out in like 1984 or even 1991 or 92, you would have been able to see a lot of cooler stuff. But the MPAA just butchered the shit out of all their movies in the late 80s. It was so sad. You saw the cut. Yeah, you can actually check out some of the kills on YouTube. They're not the best footage because they're not rendered properly. They haven't fully rendered the footage. So it's like, 1988 camcorder looking footage. It's not very high quality. But you can still see the effects that they intended to show in the movie. And it's just, when you actually watch that, though, it ruins the film a little bit for you even more, because it's like, wow, we could have gotten such more interesting kills. The sleeping bag kill, one of the most iconic kills in the franchise. When Jason grabs the girl from the tent, rips her out of the tent, wraps her up in the sleeping bag that she's in, and then just smashes her against the tree, and then she comes out of the fucking sleeping bag all like bloody and beaten to shit. He only hits her against the tree once in the fucking movie. He only hits her against the tree once in the fucking movie, but in reality, they filmed it like 8 or 9 times. Her just fucking giving her against the fucking tree with that sleeping bag. She's just getting the shit kicked out of her in that thing. It was crazy, man. I don't know. I can't believe they did that. I'm so upset. So, but all of that, despite that, I just, based on this list, I must like the remake. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there, bro. Don't worry. Ben Alberino, you don't have to keep retracting your messages, bro. I keep trying to see what you're gonna say, and then I see that you're retracting your stuff. I'm trying to read what you're saying. But I'm also trying to focus on my ranking list because I don't want this video to be too long. So I'm trying not to like talk too much to the chat right now. Sorry guys, I'm not trying to ignore you, but I don't want this list to be like 3 hours fucking long. So, anyways, what was I saying now? Fuck. Okay, the one thing I love about this film the most is just how fucking strong and durable Jason is showcased in this film. They really drive home that Jason is a force, and if you're up against him, you're not gonna fucking win. As simple as that. Jason is a fucking force to be reckoned with, and it really shows that in this movie. The guy is literally blown up in a fucking cabin after being set on fire, hanged, electrocuted, having a fucking roof fall on him. Everything, nothing, just comes out of that shit all good. The way he actually ends up dying in this film is so stupid. Tina's in the beginning of the film, Tina's dad ends up being killed by her directly. She's got the psychic powers, right? So she just she runs off into the boat because they're in the cabin. They're by the lake, and she's a little girl. She runs off. She gets in a boat. She drives out into the lake. Her dad comes running after her. She's pissed off at him because he just hit her mom. And she's like saying, "I hate you. I wish you were dead." And he's like, "Come on, come back in, sweetie. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to." And then she's just so mad as a little girl, super emotional. And then she just fucking like makes the dock collapse and fall on him while he's in the water, and he drowns. And she kills her dad by accident. And then the whole movie is based around her trying to recuperate from that event, from that traumatic event. So she goes back to Camp Crystal Lake to try to face her demons, basically. And, you know, how Jason comes back to life in this film is she brings him back by trying to bring her dad back. At the end of the movie, she fucks up and brings Jason back by accident, because it's fucking Crystal Lake. She meant to fucking bring her dad back, but Jason's in Crystal Lake, and gets brought back instead. It kind of makes sense. You have to watch it. Anyways, at the end of the movie, Jason's about to kill her and her boyfriend, and then she's like, you know, not knowing what the fuck to do, tries using her psychic powers again, and then all of a sudden, boom, her zombified dad comes out of the water, grabs Jason, pulls some chains around him, and brings him back down to the water. And that was it. That's how she gets rid of Jason. So, I mean, whatever. It worked, I guess. That's another thing the MPAA butchered for this movie. He was supposed to come out of the water looking like a zombified human, but they just made him look like a regular human with dirt on his face, because the MPAA is like, nah, we can't show zombies. Too gory. People are going to be scared. No one's going to watch this movie. That's so fucking retarded. I hated that shit. Just if it wasn't for the MPAA, this film would be higher on the list, to be honest. I really think so. I actually really enjoyed this movie. It's a lot more fun than I think a lot of people have to say. The MPAA, Alan, is the thing that is the company that every filmmaker and every studio has to go through before they're able to finalize their film and release it to the public. And the MPAA dictates what you can and cannot show in your film, in terms of sex and violence and gore and all this trash. And they tell you what you're supposed to cut out. And they basically go in and take scissors to the fucking film and just cut that shit out themselves. And then, okay, here you go. Here's your finished product. And it's like not even half as good as what it was intended to be. So the reason it's not as gory is not the filmmaker's fault at all. It is 100% their fault, and they go fuck themselves. I'm glad that they stopped doing that stupid shit before I was born, because they might have wrecked some shit from my childhood. But thank fuck they didn't. Anyways, so yeah, honestly, great Jason in this film. One of the best Jasons pretty much ever in this movie. He's super terrifying. He's big. He's powerful. He's pissed right the fuck off. He looks amazing. He's the best looking Jason of the entire franchise, bar none. And the story and plot was whatever, the characters are whatever, but you know what? Jason is just so cool in this movie, he kind of brings it up for me for that reason alone. You know, I can't really say much more than that. Let's go on to number 6. What do we got here? Boom, number 6. Okay, so we were just talking about the remake. Any edibles tonight? Nah, I'm probably gonna have one in a little bit though. I kind of feel like it. So number 6 is the remake, 2009, Friday the 13th. This is the last film we've gotten in this franchise so far. We've had over a decade of no Friday the 13th films. This is the longest we've ever gone without a Friday the 13th film in the history of this franchise. So that really sucks. But this film is a real, it's a mixed bag with most people. It really is a mixed bag. I don't know how to describe, the best way I can say to describe this movie is, if you are a diehard Friday the 13th fan, and you have been your entire life, like me, for example, pretty much my whole life I've been a Friday the 13th fan. Major diehard Friday the 13th fan. I own a fucking Jason mask, for fuck's sakes. I own every film on DVD and Blu-ray. I own shit ton of Friday the 13th stuff, period. I love Jason. He's my boy, okay? Been a fan my whole life. If you are like me, you will probably have this list or this movie listed either in the middle of your ranking or more towards the end of your ranking. The shittier side of your ranking. A lot of diehard Friday the 13th fans don't like this movie. However, if you have gotten into this franchise within the last 10 years or so, so you're still fairly new to the franchise, because if you've only liked the Friday the 13th franchise for the last 10 years, that means you've literally liked the franchise for less time than the last film that we've got in the franchise has come out. Am I Englishing properly right now? I don't fucking know. But you know what I'm talking about. This film is the last one we got. It came out 11 years ago. If you've gotten into this franchise within the last decade, that means you've gotten to watch every single movie from start to finish without having to wait for anything. And odds are you'll probably really like this movie. This is a film that's really divided in terms of audiences. Friday the 13th, the remake, to me, belongs in the middle of the list because it has the best Jason of all time. Jason is by far the most terrifying in this film and the most badass in this film of all the other films, period. He's unbelievable. It is so cool watching Derek Mears on screen portraying Jason. Best Jason. You can't even argue that. Jason runs in this one. Yeah, if Jason runs in this one, he runs in part 2, 3, and 4 as well. I mean, him running in this film doesn't mean fucking anything. People get pissed off because this movie's like, oh, Jason doesn't fucking run. He fucking always has ran, okay? He just didn't. He stopped running in part 6 when he became a zombie, okay? But, you know, if you're a fucking Friday the 13th scrub, you don't know that, I guess. Or you're too stupid to fucking watch the early films. I don't know. Those people piss me right off. He's so cool. He uses traps. He's built tunnels under the camp to maneuver around the area. He's extremely fast. He's so fucking fast in this movie. He's super fucking brutal. He's big as fuck. He's actually extremely smart with the way that he goes about. He uses bait in this film. Like when he takes the axe and the black guy that just came down to save the Asian guy, his buddy, he takes the axe and he throws the axe at the guy when he's running away from him, and he doesn't kill the dude right away. He just throws the axe at the guy that's running away from him. The guy gets fucked up. He's screaming for help from his friends, and all his friends want to go out there and help him out. And Jason knows that. So Jason's using this guy as bait. It's so fucking cool. He's extremely ruthless. He's extremely cunning. He's extremely fast. And he's strong as a fucking ox in this film. He's just like all of the best traits of Jason all rolled into one. I love this Jason. It's the best Jason in the franchise. The reason that this film isn't my number one, despite me sucking its dick so far, is because Jason is the only really awesome part about this movie. Everything else is pretty bad. The first 25 minutes of the movie are amazing, and then the title crawl. Boom, 25 minutes into the film, Friday the 13th. And then the rest of the film takes place. It's like, holy shit, the longest introduction sequence in the history of cinema. And then the title comes up. It's pretty cool. That 25 minutes, if that was the whole movie, it would be the best film in the franchise, bar none. But after the title comes up, after the title screen comes up, you're introduced to these other set of characters that all suck major ass. There's nothing interesting about them. None of them serve any purpose but to get killed, which is pretty much how it is for every film. But these people are like specifically like, okay, like you can pretty much tell right off the get-go that every one of these people are going to die because they're so unlikable and useless. I don't like any of them except for Clay, who's Jared Padalecki from Supernatural. He's fucking Sam from Supernatural. Who the fuck doesn't like Supernatural? And he plays Clay in this movie. And he's fucking awesome in this movie. He's the best character in the movie. Besides him, all the characters are shit. What else is there? The Jason takes a hostage with Whitney. She's a character from the beginning. And from the beginning of the film, from the first 25 minutes. And she's taken hostage because Jason reminds her of... Or she reminds Jason of his mother for some reason. Jason has a locket of his mother, and Whitney has similar facial features as his mother. So he holds her hostage down in the tunnels below for however long it's been. It's been 6 weeks, I think, between the first 25 minutes and the rest of the film. After the title comes up on screen, there's like a 6-week gap there. So Clay's been looking for his sister for 6 weeks, Whitney, who looks like Jason's mom, apparently. That's why he's holding her hostage and he hasn't killed her yet. We've never seen Jason do that in any of the other films, but this is a remake. This is kind of a new take on the character, and I'm not completely against it, but it also kind of threw me off, being a major Friday fan from the beginning and then watching this remake in theaters and seeing that, and kind of made me look a little sideways, but at the same time, I kind of get it, because at the end of the day, Jason only fucking gives a shit at all about his mom. So, and he has been taken out in the past by, he kidnapped her? Yeah, he kind of did kidnap her, Ben. Yeah, he kidnapped her and he held her hostage for however the fuck long it was, 6 weeks. He has been taken advantage of in the past by Ginny in Part 2, for example, who dressed like him with his mom's sweater, or just dressed like him, dressed like his mom, using her sweater and telling Jason to kneel down and saying that he was a good boy, and, you know. So Jason can be manipulated by stuff that reminds him of his mother. That's kind of a weakness of Jason's. That's pretty much his only weakness. So, you know, it was an interesting take on that idea, but I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it, how I feel about it. I could take it or leave it. It makes sense, but I'm also kind of whatever. I know Jason should just kill everybody, in my mind. There shouldn't be any hostages with Jason. But as far as the fucking characters go, fuck them. There's nothing. The Asian guy is awesome. He's the only character from the new group that we're introduced to he's funny as hell. Like, I love the scene where he's in the fucking he's in the shack trying to find like tools to replace something that he broke from Trent's fucking uncle's house inside, because he broke some shit, and then he's like, "Oh, don't worry, man, I can go fix it. I'm super expert." But it goes down to the shack, and then he just starts playing with a hockey stick he finds in the shack, and he just starts fucking shit up in the shack, and Jason's in the shack, and then he sees Jason, and he's like, "Oh shit, you're looking for this?" He hands him the hockey stick because it because it completes your outfit because you're wearing a hockey mask, right? So I love that scene. That was funny as hell. I sucked ass at describing it just now because fuck it. But the Asian guy was pretty funny. I liked him a lot. He was my favorite character in probably the whole movie, besides Clay, Jared Padalecki. But he ends up dying with a screwdriver through the bottom of the chin and all that stuff. There's some cool kills in the movie where he shoots the one guy on the boat with the bow and arrow. He stabs the one chick in the water, fucking through the dock. He takes a machete, stabs her through the dock, pulls her head up in the machete so her whole body is lifted out of the water for a moment. You see her tits flash on screen, and then he pulls his machete out of her head, and then she falls back into the water. It's pretty comical, that one. But I just love Jason in this film and hate the characters, so it's really a mixed bag. I think people should give this one a chance, though. Remake Jason should have been in the game. I agree. That would have been fucking sweet. He would definitely be able to run, so there would be no reason to pick any other Jason besides him. That'd be really cool. Yeah, he killed the chick that everybody thought would be the final girl. That was a pretty cool twist that they added at the end. I thought that was pretty cool. It was Clay, his sister, and whatever her name was, the final girl at the end. Final girl at the end, and then Jason rams a machete through her sternum and takes her out. And then it's just Clay and his sister at the end. And Jason ends up getting killed by fucking getting a chain wrapped around him, getting thrown against this machine that's pulling the chain and pulling Jason towards this grinder machine in this farm, this barn area. And Whitney comes up and fucking rams a machete through his heart. And, you know, that's how he's killed. But in the very next scene, when they put his water, or put his body, into the lake to say, you know, to give him a burial or whatever the fuck, he jumps out of the water and, you know, and that's the end of the movie. But scares the shit out of them, and that's the end of the movie. It was okay. Like the ending was okay. I didn't mind the ending. I mean, Jason didn't die, so that's cool. He survives a fucking machete through the heart. Dude's a fucking tank, man. And he's not even in zombie form here. Say hi to mommy in hell. Oh, fuck. That was such a stupid line. Why don't you just say hi to mommy? Cut out the in hell part. That part was so stupid. Why the fuck would you add the in hell part? Retarded. Anyways, so I think everybody should watch this one. I recommend the fuck out of it. The remake is entertaining as hell. And if you want to see an amazing Jason, this is the one. Check it out. All right, let's go to number 5. Okay, number 5 is... This is where shit gets really fucking good now. Part 2 is Sackhead Jason. This is where Jason is introduced as the killer. He's in the first one, like I said, but he's introduced as the killer for the first time in Part 2. He does not don the hockey mask until Part 3. But Sackhead Jason, nonetheless, is badass as fuck. I love Sackhead Jason. He's kind of a what do you call it? A hermit in this movie more than anything else. He's a hermit in this film. The dude lives in a shack. Fucking he kind of, you can tell that he kind of built that thing himself, so he's kind of resourceful in a way, because it's just built to shit. There's not really anything special about it. But, you know, so I kind of like that aspect about him. It shows him shows a side of Jason that we haven't really seen since, that he's maybe a little bit more crafty than people like to give him credit for. So that's pretty cool. Based off the Phantom Killer from, The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Yeah, this is basically where this design came from. The burlap sack is whatever. I'll take it or leave it. I'm not a huge fan of it, but Part 2 Jason, Part 2 sucks and Part 1 sucks, boring as hell. I don't know about that, man. Part 2 was good. Jason was kind of clumsy in this one, which is a little bit of a bummer. But I chalked that up to the fact that, look at on screen, he's got one eye hole to see out of. And there's not much in the way of being able to see from that sack, so no wonder he's all clumsy and just falling all over the place and shit. You can't see shit in that fucking thing. You know, so the double spear kill taken from Bay of Blood. Interesting. Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say was actually the best kill in the movie was the shish kebab kill when he's fucking smashing the spear through the two people having sex, Sandra and her boyfriend in the bed there. That was a pretty cool kill. What is there to say about this movie? It's Friday the 13th straight up at its finest. Like Friday the 13th, man. It's not at its full utmost best yet, but it's still solid as fuck. I'm entertained as fuck when I watch this movie. It has the best final girl in the franchise. Ginny is on another level in terms of final girls. She's so cool. She's super resourceful. She manipulates Jason at the end by putting on his mom's sweater when you see that big shrine of his mom when with her decapitated head and all that stuff, and the candles all around her, and the dead bodies that he's killed in the movie are all around her shrine. And Ginny shows up because she's running away from Jason. She stumbles across the shed, goes inside, freaks out, comes to her senses because she's got like a background in child psychology, so she comes to her senses about Jason. She's like, oh, this guy's basically a little kid. He still loves his mom. Maybe I could do something with this. And she puts on her sweater and, fixes her hair and shit. And then she's like, Jason, you've done your job well and mommy is pleased. And she fucking stops him dead in his tracks right there. He's so ready to kill her. And then he's all confused as fuck. And, Mom, is that you? And he's all like happy to see her. It's actually kind of mean how she manipulates him like that because he's so easily manipulated. But I just thought that was super cool. She's a super resourceful, super intelligent, relatable final girl. Definitely the best one in the franchise. Next to my absolute favorite final girl, which we'll talk about in a second. But what can you say about this film? Really cool characters. Everybody in this movie is really is a lot of fun. I love the kills in this movie. There's a kill where the guy, Jason's brutal in this one. There's a guy in a wheelchair who gets a fucking machete to the face, and his name's Mark, by the way. He gets a machete to the face. The wheelchair starts rolling back off of the fucking the balcony area that he's in. It starts rolling back off of the hill that he's on, and then down a bunch of cement stairs. And he's just like, that's a brutal fucking kill. He kills a dude in a wheelchair. It was fucked up. Jason in this one's okay. Yeah, he's pretty cool in this one. I like this one. He's just a little bit too clumsy. He hasn't quite become the brutal monster we know him as yet. This is still like primitive Jason. But kind of pissed you off that no one thought of blowing him to bits till part 9. No, part 7 he was blown to bits. But no one fucking... but he didn't die from it because he's Jason. But, yeah, what do you say about part 2? Just a solid quality film. I recommend the shit out of this one. It's a lot of fun to watch, front to back. It's really cool. Definitely, if you haven't checked it out, if anything, start with this movie. Don't even watch the original. Just start with part 2. As far as I'm concerned, this is the first real Friday the 13th film. Part 2 is awesome. Love this movie. Really not much you can say bad about it. Jason's clumsy. That's it. Primitive Jason. Sackhead Jason. Doesn't have the hockey mask yet. But he's still Jason. He's still scary in his own way. Yeah. Okay, let's go on to part 4. Or number 4 on my list. Gotta go a little bit quicker here. I don't want this fucking video to be too long. Alright. This fucking movie. Oh my god. Oh. Freddy vs. Jason is the one film that I have watched more than any other movie that's ever come out in the history of movies. I've watched this film. We're going to stream some Friday the 13th game after this? Yeah, probably. Yeah, sure. I'm not even 2 hours in for the stream yet, so we could probably do an hour and a half or something of that one. I've watched this film more than any other film in history. This is my go-to whenever I just want to watch a movie and have fun. It's just so much fun. Especially for someone like me. I grew up watching A Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th since the fucking early 90s. I mean, I've been into these guys my entire life. And to see Freddy versus Jason, the day it came out in theaters, I saw it its debut day in theaters. I saw it the next week in theaters, and I saw it two more times in theaters before it came out on DVD and VHS. And I bought it on DVD and VHS. And I just this movie is just front to back a blast. It's not scary, but and Freddy doesn't get enough kills if you ask me. They should have given Freddy a few more kills. He only kills one guy in the whole film. But that being said, it's so much fun, despite two things. Two problems I have. One, Jason is not Jason. He is Jason. It is the real Jason, but it is portrayed by Ken Kirzinger, who does the worst job at portraying Jason of the entire franchise. He is such an awful Jason. I don't know if that was him choosing to be the way he decided to portray him as himself, or if it was Ronnie Yu, the director, telling him to be Jason that way. But he's just this slow moving lumberjack. They couldn't get Kane Hodder. They couldn't. No, they should have. Kane Hodder wanted to do it. He was pissed when they fucking got Ken Kirzinger, and the reason for that is, legitimately, this is the fucking reason. Ken Kirzinger is 2 inches taller than Kane Hodder, and they wanted Jason to tower over Freddy. That's the fucking reason. I blew my fucking mind, dude. I was so pissed when I saw that, because Kane Hodder versus Robert Englund was what all the fans wanted. Kane Hodder was Jason from part 7 till Freddy versus Jason. He was part 7. He was from 1988 to 2003. Kane Hodder was Jason. So why would you just change it all of a sudden? Ken Kirzinger, he has a role in part 8 as well. You're right. He's the guy that Jason throws against the wall in the bar in New York. He's like, he comes up to Jason's like, "You son of a bitch," and then Jason picks him up and throws him against a mirror, breaks his back. Fucking sweet. Kane Hodder in this movie, no Kane Hodder in this film. I was pissed, man, and so was everybody else. Everybody was so mad. There were people that watched this movie, that I watched this movie with in theaters, that were mostly just Freddy fans. They didn't really have any knowledge about Jason at all, and they thought it was fine. They thought, yeah, this is Jason, because they didn't fucking know anything about Jason. They'd never watched a Friday the 13th film, but I'm sitting there pissed off, like, this is not fucking Jason. He does not move like a fucking zombie. The dude is fast as fuck. He's super cunning. He's extremely powerful, which he is in this film. He's super fucking strong in this film. The dude folds a guy in half in the first, 10 minutes of the movie. He's like, the dude's laying in bed. He takes the bed and he folds the bed in half with the guy in the bed. Folds him right in half. It was the coolest fucking kill in the movie. But if you're a diehard Jason fan, specifically, not even a Friday the 13th fan, just a fan of the character of Jason, you're not going to like this Jason. He's too slow. He's too bumbling. He seems like he's so fucking dumb. He just doesn't walk like fucking Frankenstein. He walks like a pissed off fucking jacked to shit brick shithouse. He doesn't walk like a fucking bumbling idiot. You know, I don't know. I was super mad about that. He's a lot faster than he's portrayed in this film as well, so I was pretty upset about that. Like I said, Freddy kills one person. It's too bad that they didn't give Freddy more kills. They did give Jason a fuck ton of kills. Like I said, I don't know if this is the most kills he has in the franchise. It's either, out of the whole Friday the 13th franchise, I think this may have the most kills, or part 5. It's one of the two. I'm not sure. Jason kills a lot of people in this movie. That being said, it's a Nightmare on Elm Street film. This is not a Friday the 13th film. This is a Nightmare on Elm Street film. 150%. It's a Nightmare on Elm Street featuring Jason. Period. Which is fine, because I'm a huge Freddy fan as well, so I don't give a fuck. That's totally fine with me. I love that they fight twice. Once in the dream world and once in the real world. That is so sick. Freddy just fucking ghouls Jason in the dream world. He drops a 3-ton boiler on Jason to try to squish him to death. And Jason just pushes that fucking thing off him like no problem. Freddy's like, "Why won't you die?" It's the coolest fucking thing. I love that shit. He's just beating his ass in the dream world. There's nothing. He does a fucking pinball like effect on Jason. He's kicking his ass. It was the coolest shit. I didn't even care. I was like, I'm a Jason guy, but I thought that was sick. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Freddy's basically a god in the dream world. So, you know, it would make sense that Jason couldn't really touch Freddy in the dream world. But then they bring Freddy out into the real world, and then they have an actual fight one-on-one, and Jason just fucks Freddy's shit up. Eventually, the last kill, Jason literally rips Freddy's arm off, and then a couple of scenes later, once the kids blow them off the dock, they blow them up and they go off the dock. He rams Freddy's arm through his own body using his glove. And Freddy's just like sitting on the dock on his knees, dying, and then Laurie comes up and fucking slices Freddy's head off. So there's no debate about it. Jason absolutely beat Freddy. If it was a couple of seconds later, Jason would have come out of the lake himself, took that machete and sliced Freddy's head off himself. There was nothing Freddy could do. Freddy was dying. He was on his knees. Jason rammed his own fucking glove through him. And then, Jason's fucking totally intact after ripping fucking Freddy's arm off, shoving it through Freddy's body, and then Freddy's head getting lopped off. Jason comes out of the water, holding Freddy's hand in his grasp, and then Freddy winks at the camera. I was like, okay. You got to give the Freddy fans something, because the whole movie is about Freddy. It's not about Jason. It's about Freddy and everybody being scared of Freddy. Freddy whooped Jason's tail through the whole movie. Well, sure. I mean, if you, I don't know about that, man. He was kicking his ass, but Jason wasn't taking any damage. There's a difference between getting his ass kicked and actually taking some fucking damage. When it came to the real world, Jason fucked Freddy's shit up. Freddy was, for every 20 hits Freddy gives to Jason, Jason does the same damage with one hit to Freddy. Like, Freddy's just fucking doing, like, elbow drops to Jason. He's stabbing him in the fucking chest with his glove. He's kicking him, and he's doing all this stuff. And then Jason just fucking swings one punch, and Freddy goes fucking flying. Like, if you think that's Freddy kicking Jason's ass, I don't know about that. Maybe you should take some fighting lessons. But Jason ended up winning the fight in the end. Which I think is a good trade-off, because the film was about Freddy and the kids being afraid of Freddy and Freddy, and then Jason wins the fight at the end. I think that's a fair trade-off, considering, because it was featuring, it's a Nightmare on Elm Street featuring Jason. Freddy knew damn well he wouldn't stand a chance against Jason, so he started using some tactics against him, like, fucking the torpedo stuff that he did with the oxygen tanks. He, like, slices off the ending of the oxygen tank and fucking, we must not have been watching the same movie. Well, I did just say that Freddy was kicking Jason's ass in the dream world, which makes perfect sense because it's the fucking dream world, and Freddy legitimately is pretty much a god in the dream world, and, obviously he fucked Jason up. There's the one gripe I have with the film where Freddy discovers Jason's weakness. He's afraid of water, even though Jason swims in parts 4, 6, 7, 8, the remake, and Freddy vs. Jason, but he's afraid of water? No, that makes no sense. So what the writers chalked it up to was, in Jason's deep subconscious, in his psyche, he's still somewhat affected by his childhood trauma of almost drowning as a kid. So, and that makes perfect sense, it's not a weakness. Jason doesn't have a weakness, besides maybe his mom. But Freddy found that, because he was digging deep into his fucking brain. He's going to use whatever he can against an opponent like Jason. So, where did that whole water thing come from? I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense. It's not a weakness, it's just something that Jason still kind of suffers from to this day. But he swims in a lot of the fucking movies. But in the end, when Freddy comes out in the real world, it's nice to see the contrast. Jason's grabbing Freddy's body, smashing him through the fucking windows. He tosses Freddy on top of a roof. Freddy comes up to Jason, starts stabbing him and kicking him and elbow dropping him. Jason's too slow to fucking hit Freddy, which pissed me off because Jason's actually super fucking fast. So they got that wrong about that scene. Jason should have been able to hit Freddy a lot more than he did. But I think if he did hit Freddy more, he probably would have killed him a lot faster because Jason's got more force in one punch than a fucking car coming at you at 75 miles per hour. You know, he can punch somebody's head off with one hit. Freddy can't fucking do that. So, you know, it makes sense that they could only give Jason one hit for every 20 hits that Freddy's doing. You know, I love both the characters, but you can't deny the fact that Jason's going to beat Freddy's ass 9 times out of 10 unless they're in the dream world. That's just a fact, you know. I mean, take how much punishment Jason could take. Jason could take so much punishment compared to Freddy in the real world. Freddy can't take much punishment in the real world. He's just a regular dude. So, whereas Jason's a fucking immortal beast. You know, Freddy couldn't even kill Jason in the dream world. He dropped a fucking 3-ton boiler on the guy. Didn't do anything. So, I don't know. I really liked the whole fight at the end there. I'm glad Jason won. That made me happy as a fan. And I'm glad that Freddy winked at the camera at the end because it made the Freddy fans happy. And I'm a huge Freddy fan. So, you know, it made me happy to see Freddy wasn't totally dead. You know, there's a chance we'll get a round 2, you know. But then, of course, we didn't because it's been 17 fucking years and we haven't seen shit. So that's too bad. But, you know, Freddy vs. Jason. It's the movie I've watched more than any other film in history. Jason or Snake? Jason. Totally beat the shit out of Solid Snake. I've watched this movie more than any other movie in history. It's one of my favorite films of all time. But in terms of the Friday the 13th series, there is no higher place than number 4 on this list. Did I ever play as Freddy in MK9? Yeah, he was my only character I played as. My main in that game. But okay, let's go to number 3 before this video gets way too fucking long. Jesus fuck. Friday the 13th, Part 3, 3D. Everybody hates this movie, or everybody puts this one super low on the list, and I totally get it. I totally understand why Friday 3 is lower on some people's lists, because the second act of this film is so boring and so slow, and nothing happens. It just does not build the way the other movies do. The Act 1 is okay. How Jason kills Edna and Harold and all that stuff, and how he's introduced in the beginning of the film. The characters are pretty interesting. Chris is the best final girl in the franchise, in my opinion. The gun kill with the girl is so iconic. Yeah, definitely. The spear gun against Vera, that's a great kill. Love that shit. The reason this is so high on my list is the third act. The third act is amazing. Okay, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a story here. I watched this movie when I was about 4 years old. And from the scene when Rick gets his head squished and the eyeball comes popping out. After Jason tosses his body aside and Chris is literally all on her own now. She's alone. She's 100% alone. Ali is still kicking around in the barn. He's unconscious. Jason thinks he's dead, but he's only unconscious. He's not a factor, though, because he's unconscious. He's not part of it. And then once he comes back to consciousness, Jason kills him pretty much right away anyways. So he's not a factor here. Chris is alone. From that moment on, when she is first alone to the very end of the film, it is the scariest Friday the 13th has ever been. Bar none. There are parts in Part 4 that are pretty fucking scary too. But legitimately, this movie is the most terrifying film in the franchise. Like, that's my opinion. Maybe you guys don't feel the same way. But try watching this fucking film as a 4-year-old. This is the only film in the franchise that gave me nightmares for years after that. I remember watching this when I was like 13, 14 for the second time because I was so scared of this film that I would not watch it again until I turned like 13, 14. And it fucked me up again. I was 13, 14 years old. Fucking, I was so blown away by how just terrifying every scene was. From the scene when Chris is talking about how Jason, she ran into Jason once when she was telling the backstory of how she got all fucked up last time she was at Higgins Haven. because she ran into Jason and Jason tried to kill her and then she blacked out and all this stuff. That scene scared me. And then the scenes where Chris is running away from Jason and you see Jason in the background running after her. There's not too many scenes in films where you see the person trying to get away and the killer is in the distance, far off in the distance, you can see him, but he's coming at her and he's running after her. That's terrifying. And then you see the fucking scene when he gets hanged, like Chris, she hangs him in the barn, and Jason is fucking with her. He grabs the fucking rope and he pulls it over his head and the mask comes up, and then you see that ugly face, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's you!" From her past, right? She remembers him, and fucking that scene when he's like sneers at her and he fucking smiles at her and he drops to the ground, and he's just fucking with her, right? That scared the shit out of me. The ending scene, oh my fuck! When he's staring through the glass, he stares through the glass. She's on the lake in the boat in the canoe. It's the morning. He's staring through the fucking glass at her. And he fucking sneers again, and he's just getting like all fucking pumped up. Oh, there she fucking is. He's like reaching all over the glass. Then he disappears and he comes down the stairs, and he bursts through the fucking door, rips it off its hinges, and looks right at her with no mask on. Right? Oh my fucking God! And then he's just looking at her, smiling like that evil fucking grin, like I'm gonna get you. It was the coolest fucking shit. Look, watching it now is so fucking cheesy, and it's just a blast to watch now. But back when I was younger, this film, those parts literally fucked me up, man. Those parts are so scary. As a child, as a young teenager, this is the only movie that really affected me in a way that I just could not watch it again after I watched it one time when I was super young. I couldn't do it again for at least 10 years. I was so scared out of my fucking mind. This is the scariest this franchise gets, in my mind, in my opinion. It's beyond all the other ones, for sure. In grabbing the noose is the jump scare you always talk about. Yeah, it's a terrifying scene. Terrifying scene. This film is placed so low on so many people's lists specifically because of the first two acts. And I full-heartedly understand that. I don't disagree with lists that have this as like number 8 or something. You know, I get it. It's not the best in the franchise. But if you just take those acts out of the way, you know, it's just hard to kind of do because it's a good fucking, 2/3 of the film. You take the first 2 acts out of it. The third act, you leave the third act in. It's the best third act in the franchise. I fucking love this third act. It's terrifying. Jason gets his fucking mask in this movie, too. This is the movie where we get the iconic hockey mask killer, dude. This is the fucking movie. So sick. So sick. They had no idea what was gonna happen when he dons that hockey mask and he comes walking out with that spear gun in his hand, all nonchalant like. Vera's in the lake trying to find Shelly's wallet when she dropped it in the lake. She pulls out the wallet. She's like, sorry, I lost your wallet. I got it. And then he stands on the dock and he's pointing the fucking spear gun at her. And she's like, who are you? And he's just aiming and aiming. What are you doing? Cut that out now. It's not funny. And then poof, shoots her in the fucking ear or the fucking eye and fucking eye and just fucking she's done. Oh, it's so sick. From that moment on, he just drops the spear gun and he's like, fuck, who's next? He's the coolest fucking shit. Yeah, Jason, bitch. I was so fucking stoked when I saw that shit. And then it's just like nonstop fucking, I fucking love that shit. And Jason just goes fucking mental in that movie. He cuts what's the fucking guy's name? Andy. He cuts Andy in half. Fucking cuts him in half through the crotch. Like, cuts him in half on the, oh, dude, he splits the dude in 2. Like, from the crotch down, so his legs are, like, flopped on, dude, it's fucked up, man. He fucking rams a knife through his, Andy's girlfriend's, damn it, how can I not remember these people's names? He rams a fucking knife through her chest, and she's pregnant. The girl that's pregnant, what's her fucking name? Damn it, how do I not know? I've seen this movie like a million times, how have I not? Damn it, whatever. Debbie, thank you, Debbie. She was fucking pregnant. And Jason just, I don't give a fuck, he's ruthless. The dude is ruthless in this movie. He's like super brutal. I love it. I love how brutal he is. Oh my God, the fucking the kills that he does in this film are not the best of the franchise, but the 2 or 3 that stand out You know, the fucking head skull crush when his eye pops out. Rick's death, super iconic, super memorable. Jason's strong enough to crush someone's skull and have their eye pop out. That's cool, man. I love that shit. Yeah, Jason's terrifying in this movie. He is probably the best, if not the second best, he's ever been in the franchise. If you have never seen... Okay, you guys hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Everything cool? What the fuck was that? Oh my god, dude. Ugh, Jesus tits. This fucking shit. Okay, I gotta end this video pretty quick here. Anyways, hopefully you guys can see me. That was a weird thing. It just cut out and cut back in now. Okay. It froze for a few times. Okay. Good, I'm back. Fuck. Okay, I don't know. Fucking OBS. That was not YouTube this time. That was OBS. Okay. Anyways, part 3. Amazing film. Absolutely love it. Definitely the scariest in the franchise. Yeah, more people need to appreciate the third act. I know the first 2 acts are shit. The characters are whatever. The acting is probably the worst in the whole franchise. But just that third act, it's perfection. Perfection, and it's terrifying. This is the only film in the franchise that's legitimately terrifying. Okay, let's go to part number 2 now. Number 2, Jason Lives, Friday the 13th, Part 6. Pretty much everybody's top 2 are the same. Let's be real here. Jason Lives is just a fun ride. There's nothing scary about this film, really. This is where he's a full-on zombie. He's a human zombie hybrid from parts 2, 3, and 4. And then in this film, he's pretty much straight on undead supernatural entity that's, you know, he's twice as strong as he was before. He can take twice as much punishment. He's the Jason we all know and love in this movie. It's just a fun ride. It's a blast. There is not a single scene in this movie that's not fun to watch. It breaks the fourth wall. The characters are really interesting. Tommy Jarvis is a fucking blast. Tommy's in this movie for the 3rd time. This is his final appearance in the franchise. Tom Matthews does a pretty good job of portraying Tommy Jarvis. He's a really good Tommy Jarvis. He's actually the guy that we all think of when we think of Tommy Jarvis. And he's the Tommy Jarvis we get to play as in the Friday the 13th game. Yeah, Tommy Jarvis is great. And Megan is the final girl in this film. She's a really strong final girl. Very beloved by the fan base. Sheriff Garris, very memorable character. He comes across as a dick in the movie, but he's really not a dick at all. How the fuck would you feel if some random dude came busting through the fucking sheriff's office screaming that this fucking serial killer that's been dead for like 10 plus years is back all of a sudden, and, you know, and then he tries to grab a shotgun from the shotgun case in front of the fucking sheriff. Like, you'd react the same fucking way he did. And then he's wanting to protect his daughter, stay away from this maniac. The guy's fucking insane. I would have thought he's insane too. I would have told my daughter the same shit. Sheriff Garris, great fucking character. Awesome character, super relatable. I think everybody, people that are saying he's a dick, need to give him more of a chance. And the first Friday movie to have kids at the camp. You're right, totally. This is the first Friday movie where there's kids. It's a fucking camp specifically designed for children. And this is the only film that has children at the camp. It's fucking... It just does a lot of things right. The writing is perfect. I love the writing in this film. It's funny as hell. The fucking... The groundskeeper dude, when he's like, dig him up, does he think I'm a fart head? And then the editing cuts to the kids going, yeah! It was fucking... The editing in this movie is so great. I love it. You know, it's such a... well-made film, just with real... It's so cheesy in a lovable way, you know. I don't recommend this film if you're wanting to watch something scary and you want Jason to be, you know, legitimately a terrifying force for the whole film. You know, he's scary in this film, but the film itself is making fun of itself without making fun of Jason. So the fact that the film is so much fun, it kind of detracts a little bit from Jason being the scariest he could be. But I love that they have that type of a film where they're making fun of themselves and they know what they are. Then the filmmakers knew what they were doing, but they don't make fun of Jason. They leave him as this force to be reckoned with and just this terrifying entity. But everybody else is just having a blast. I love that shit. I love that shit. Love they're trying to forget the legacy of Crystal Lake. Yeah, they changed the lake. They changed the name to Camp Forest Green in this film, and it makes perfect sense. You know, all the shit that's happened with from parts 1 through 5, and all the mistakes all the shit that happened in 1958 with the 2 people getting killed by Pamela, and the fires of the cabins in the 60s and the 70s, and the lake being poisoned, and everything leading up to part 6. Like, of course they're gonna try to change the name and forget the legacy, because it's just a fucking. You want to attract tourists? Yeah, it's not going to happen. So you better do something about it. You know, I like that they're trying new things with this film, and all the things worked. Everything worked. Tom McLaughlin was the director of this movie, and he knocked it out of the fucking park. And the guy has a script ready to go called Jason Never Dies. There's an interview of him online by this channel Slash and Cast, and you check those guys out. They're a really good channel. They interviewed Tom McLaughlin. He talks about a little bit of his script, not in super detail, but certain things about Jason Never Dies. So he's got a movie ready and waiting to fucking go. As soon as this lawsuit is over, he's fucking like, here's a script. Well, let's fucking do this. And if anybody's going to direct the next Friday film, please let it be him, because he directed indisputably one of the best films in the franchise. Everybody fucking loves Jason Lives. This is either number 1, 2, or 3 on pretty much anybody's fucking list. Everybody's list. Ink Ribbon, what lawsuit? What? The Friday the 13th lawsuit. Sean Cunningham versus Victor Miller. You got to look that shit up. I talked about it earlier in the video. I don't want to talk about it again. You got to have to check that out. But once that lawsuit's over, Tom McLaughlin has a script ready. So let's fucking do this, guys. Let's get this shit going. I absolutely love this shit. So, Jason Lives is bar none one of, if not the best film in the franchise, and I think everybody should watch it. I recommend this to literally everyone, even if you're not a Friday the 13th fan or a horror fan. Watch this shit. You will become a Friday fan and a horror fan, because this movie is fucking amazing. It's so cheesy, so tongue-in-cheek, but oh shit. Thanks, Big Red.
Some folks have a strange idea of entertainment.
Why'd they have to go dig up Jason? Some folks got a strange idea of entertainment. He's looking right at the camera when he does that. So fucking great. Oh my god, I love this movie. There's just nothing bad you can say about this one, man. There's just nothing bad you can say about this one. Sorry that your thing wasn't your notification didn't show up. I got this. The image on screen of Jason Lives is blocking the YouTube notification, so I didn't even realize that. But I appreciate that, Big Red. Thanks a lot, brother. Yeah, honestly, it's just what can I say? This is as good as it gets as far as fun. You want a fun time? I recommend this one or Freddy vs. Jason. Pop in one of those two. I recommend this one first, though. Just a fucking blast. But there is one film that truly is the definitive slasher as far as I'm concerned. This is the best slasher movie ever made. Period. It's better than Halloween. It's better than A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's better than Black Christmas. It's better than Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's better than everything. It's a whole other level of perfection. This is the definitive slasher film. It's scary. Jason is the most brutal he's ever been. Every single kill is just like, like every kill makes you go, I can't, like, fucking, how do you, it's just how you feel with all of them. Did he just say better than Nightmare on Elm Street? This film's way better than Nightmare on Elm Street. You can't even compare it. I love this one. Nightmare on Elm Street 1 isn't even my favorite one in the franchise, though. That goes to Dream Warriors. I'm a huge Dream Warriors fan. I love Dream Warriors. Between Dream Warriors and Final Chapter, it's a toss-up for me. I love them both so much. But Friday the 13th, the Final Chapter, if you want to show someone a slasher film, and they've never seen a slasher movie in their life, this is the one to show them. Because this is the definitive slasher film. A Nightmare on Elm Street is extremely creative with its kills, and it is a slasher film through and through, but there's also a lot of fantasy going on in that film, kind of fantasy-ish-esque horror fantasy style. And Halloween is more like a suspense film overall than more of a slasher film. So if you're speaking directly, like as definitively as a slasher film can possibly be, this is the one to show somebody that's never seen a movie, of a slasher film in their lives. All the characters that are introduced are super relatable and super fun. All the characters are. I mean, fucking Jimbo. Tad, where's the hell's the corkscrew? Fucking best fucking shit ever. There's so many lines. Fucking, it says you're a dead fuck. Yeah, well, there is no computer. And there's no Betty either. Like, there's so many fucking quotable lines, man. It's fucking rad. Crispin Glover's dance when they puts on Lion, the song by Lion. Fucking, and then he's dancing like it's the most iconic dance scene in film history. The guy's fucking amazing. And oh my god, dude. And this isn't even, we're not even talking about the fucking Jason or the kills or anything like that. This is specifically the characters. The characters are the best this franchise has to offer. They're all, like, you don't want any of them to die. You don't want any of them to die. I love all the characters. They're so great. Trish is one of the best final girls in the franchise, in horror history, really, if you want to be honest. She's not my personal favorite. She's my third favorite next to Ginny and Chris. But I really love how independent she is, how protective she is over Tommy, how just she just nails every single aspect as a final girl. She's perfection as a final girl. Super, super resourceful and intelligent and just knows, like, she's a fucking badass. Let's be real here. Trish is just awesome. I wish we saw more of her in part 5 and 6. Maybe if Trish was in part 5 and 6, she would have saved part 5, you know? Maybe that film might not have been as shitty if we didn't get fucking Pam instead of Chris, or instead of Trish. Am I playing tonight? Yeah, I'm going to play some Friday the 13th after this. This part's almost done. This is the last film in the franchise. So, Rob seeking revenge for the death of his sister Sandra. Yeah. So in part 2, Sandra is the girl that gets the shish kebab kill by Jason with the spear, and she is Rob's sister in this movie. And part 2 takes place on a Friday the 13th. Part 3 takes place on a Saturday the 14th. And part 4 takes place actually on 4 different days. Okay, so part 4 starts at night on a Sunday the 15th, with the helicopter shining down its light and the ambulances showing up and packing up all the dead bodies from part 3 and grabbing Jason and taking him to the coroner's office and all this stuff. So it takes place at night on Sunday the 15th, and then Monday the 16th is when all the kids come into the fucking area. And Tuesday the 17th is when everybody dies. So this film, and then fucking, it ends on, I think, nighttime on Tuesday the 17th. So it's actually fucking taking place over a 5-day period from Friday the 13th till Tuesday the 17th, between those 3 films. So it's pretty interesting how they did that. Axel's death is the best kill. Yeah, I was just going to say that. The kills in this fucking movie are incredible. Every single kill is just awesome. You have the spear through the crotch with fucking Paul. Like, Paul gets a spear through the crotch. Sam gets a knife through the machete through the gut when she's out in the boat. You get oh man, Doug's kill. When Doug gets killed, that's my favorite kill personally. His face, Jason just shoves his hand through the shower door, grabs Paul's face and just pushes him up against the fucking back of the shower and just squishes his face against the back of the fucking shower wall. It's fucking sick, and just the way that he's doing it with his bare hand is so fucking awesome. And then what else you got? You got that kill when he kills Tina He grabs her through the window and he just rips her out of the window and she falls on a car and just explodes all the car windows, just breaks every bone in her body. She's dead as fuck. And of course, the first two kills in the movie, the first kill with the nurse, he takes the nurse, he lifts her up in the air, he takes the knife and he stabs her in the sternum and he just starts cutting down her fucking sternum. It's brutal. Instead of just stabbing her, he fucking cuts her open while she's alive. And then he fucking goes off to Axel, and he grabs Axel's head, and he fucking takes a saw, a medical saw, starts slicing his throat, and then he twists his head all the way around. Oh, God! Fuck yeah, man! That's fucking Jason, bro. Oh, he's the best in this movie. And then Jason's death at the end is amazing. When Tommy Jarvis fucking smacks him in the face with a machete. Fucking, and then Jason just like, oh, fuck, and he just falls on the ground, and then he digs the machete into his head even further and further. As he's falling down on the ground, the machete just slices through his head. Oh. And then he just hacked to bits. Just Tommy Jarvis goes fucking nuts hacking him to bits, because he's like, he sees a finger twitch. Jason's finger twitches. He's not fully dead yet. This is fucking Jason. Oh my God, dude. God. Just everything about this movie. There's not a single slow part in the whole film. Because you love watching the characters when they're interacting with each other. They're just fun to watch. And you love watching the kills. And then in the third act, when Jason's fucking going after Trish and Trish and Tommy, is just a blast, start to finish. Jason's just... And he's just terrifying. Jason's super scary. He's the scariest in part 3 and part 4. In the whole franchise, he's the scariest in those two films. Definitively. 100%. I just can't get enough of this movie, man. I fucking love Part 4. It's the best this franchise has to offer in terms of outright scares. If you want a fun time, like I said, watch Jason Lives. If you want a definitive slasher movie and you want to be scared and you want to watch some really good kills and an interesting set of characters and just the best that slashers have to offer, this is the best slasher film ever made. Period. Bar none. Best slasher film ever made. Friday the 13th, Final Chapter, deserves a fucking Oscar for how amazing it is. It is perfect in every way. I don't give a shit how cheesy some of the writing comes across as, and it does, because it's a fucking slasher film, but this is a fucking masterpiece. Like, it does not get half the credit that A Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween does, but it deserves just as much as those films. I don't care what anybody thinks about any of the other films. Friday the 13th, Final Chapter, it deserves its place in history as one of the big three of films. The Nightmare on Elm Street 1, Halloween 1, Friday 4. Those are the three best in all of history, and this is my personal favorite out of all of those movies. Like, it just, you can't, and Ted White. Okay, let me talk about Jason. Ted White is one of the best Jasons, if not the best. He's up there with Derek Mears for me. I love him and Derek Mears almost as much. Derek Mears is my favorite, but Ted White is a good close second for me. And then Kane Hodder. Although I love Richard Brooker too. Rest in peace to Richard Brooker. But Ted White, he's still alive. But he was almost 60 when he filmed this movie. In 1984. He was like 58 or 59 years old. So, and he's moving like a 20-year-old in this film. Jason's fast as fuck. He's super brutal. He's, oh, God. Like, yeah, Ted White was Creature from the Black Lagoon. Exactly, he was. That's how old that guy is. He's still alive, too. It's fucking sweet. The things that guy's done, Kane is the best. I mean, Kane is definitely up there, 100%. I love Kane, too. Don't get me wrong. Kane is one of my top 3 Jasons. I love, and there's been so many fucking Jasons. Saying you're in the top 3 is no bad feat. He's fucking amazing. He's 94. Ted White's 94. Wow. So he was exactly 60 years old when this movie was fucking made. Or no, he was 50. Well, it was 36 years ago. So yeah, he was 58. Okay, I thought he was 58, 59. Yeah, you're right. He was 58. Holy shit. So he was already an old guy at the filming of this movie. And he moves like a fucking, like a cheetah. The guy is so fucking cool as Jason in this film. Yeah, it's pretty unreal, man. Pretty unreal. I don't know what else to say. What else do you have to say about Friday the 13th Part 4, the Final Chapter? What else is there to say about this movie? I mean, it's perfection on screen as far as slasher films go. I will pop this in at least once every couple of months. I watch this movie. I've watched this movie next to Freddy vs. Jason. This is the one I watched the most. And I've seen Freddy vs. Jason. I think I was actually counting how many times I've seen it. I've seen Freddy vs. Jason 220, 230 times. I've seen this one probably close to 200 times. This is just perfect. Edward Bishop, please go watch this fucking shit. You must have seen this movie. You're a Jason fan, right? So you must have seen this movie. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat has seen this film, maybe barring a couple of people, but this is the best one, and this is the first film I recommend to everyone. Yeah, you've seen it a million times. Yeah, there you go. I'm not surprised. This is the one that everybody needs to watch. And if you've already seen it, then watch it again. As soon as I get done this stream, we're going to play some Friday the 13th on stream, and then I'm going to watch this movie. And I'm going to get stoned. I'm going to fucking watch this movie. I wish I could watch this with you guys, you know? That'd be so sick, but YouTube will take my shit down if I do that. But that'd be so rad. God. I don't even want to stop talking about it. I just love this fucking movie so much. I mean, I get the same... we could watch it in Discord together. Yeah, that may be kind of cool. We should totally do that. You're on part 7 now. It's almost over, though. Oh, part 7 is really good, too. Oh, yeah, that's one thing I wanted to say about Jason. How he looks in this movie. I think the only better-looking Jason in the franchise is part 7. As far as the sheer look of Jason, especially when he's unmasked, man, he looks fucking good. Tom Savini, man. Tom Savini is the reason, is probably a good 50 to 60% of the reason why this movie is so fucking good. His gore effects and his special effects that he does, and the design of Jason, he just nails every single aspect of the character, and of the kills and everything. And I want Joseph Zito, if he's the director of Part 4, if he doesn't, if Tom McLaughlin doesn't get to direct the next Friday film, I wish they would get Joseph Zito to do that. I'm not sure. I think he's still alive. I don't know if he's still directing, though. But I hope they get Joseph Zito again, because he knocked it out of the fucking park with this one. He just knocked it out of the fucking park. The writing is perfect. The characters are so fun. Like, Jason is the best he's ever been. Ted White is on fire as Jason. All the kills are just top fucking notch. Like, the atmosphere of this film is terrifying. It's a legitimately scary movie, despite being a gory slasher film. Do you have any idea how hard that is? You know how many people take a fucking slasher film and all those gore effects? They don't take it seriously because it's a slasher film. Why the fuck would you take it seriously? It's a fucking slasher film. It's supposed to be just cheesy bullshit. But this film manages to be serious and scary and still be incredibly intricate with its kills. So you get the best of all worlds with this movie, which is why I feel like I put it above Halloween and A Nightmare on Elm Street, because you get extremely creative kills and scary atmosphere with A Nightmare on Elm Street. You get scary atmosphere with Halloween and a lot of suspense and just brilliant filmmaking in general with Halloween. You can't really top that film. It was perfectly done. The music is amazing. One thing I have to touch about this film again is Harry Manfredini with his musical score, with the first 4 films especially, is just, especially in this film, oh my god, the music is top tier. Oh my god. Watching those credits go by with Harry Manfredini's score in the background, just nothing but a black screen and white titles. Very simple, but with that music playing, it's so effective. It's so effective. Joseph Zito was kind of an ass to people. Hopefully you stop being that. Yeah, it's true. Actually, Sam, the actress that played Sam, she was the one that died in the boat. She was actually like forced to stay out on that boat in the freezing cold lake for hours and hours, and she was going to catch hypothermia. I think she did catch hypothermia, actually. And Ted White actually almost walked off set because he was pissed right off that they left her out in there for so long. He's like, if you don't fucking bring her in right now and get her warm and comfy, I'm fucking done. I don't care. I'm leaving. And they're like, okay, fine. We can't find another Jason with this short of notice, so I guess we have to fucking listen to him. And then he pretty much saved her life, you know, if you really think about it. She almost had hypothermia. Yeah, she almost did. So if Ted White hadn't stepped in and said, bring her the fuck in right now, she might have caught hypothermia. She might have died. Who the fuck knows? He potentially saved her life. So I hope Joseph Zito isn't a douche as well these days. But regardless, the guy knows how to make a fucking movie because this is amazing. So, anyways, that was my ranking of the Friday franchise. Sorry it was 2.5 fucking hours long. Jesus tits. Okay, I'm going to turn off this stream, and then I'm going to make another stream in a minute. I got to eat some fucking lasagna real quick. I brought this to eat on fucking stream, but I haven't even taken a bite yet. So I'm pretty starving right now. So come back and hang out if you want with the Friday the 13th game stream. I'm going to go do that right now. I'm just going to end this one, and I'm going to start the new one up, and let's do that. But thanks for everybody hanging out on this shit. This is a fucking blast. I can't wait to do Halloween and A Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm going to do those next, and then I'm going to rank all three of them. All three franchises, every film in the franchise. Obviously, you know what my number one's going to be because this is pretty much it. But besides that, that's going to be a fucking long video. I'm going to pretty much have to talk about as little the detail about each movie as possible when I do that one because that's 31 fucking movies that I'm going to have to go through. I'm going to do that for Halloween, on Halloween Day. So, but I'll have already ranked and reviewed every film from all the other franchises, so it shouldn't be too long. Hoping that one's no longer than 2 hours. But okay, guys, thanks a lot for chilling out with me. See you guys. Whoever wants to come back in a bit and watch the Friday the 13th game stream and come hang out, you're more than welcome to. Besides that, if you don't feel like coming back, stay metal. Thanks for rocking out, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. So, thanks for being fucking rad as fuck.